Yeah, this is case number 503 on the calendar in the matter of Gilead versus Bogus. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have a seat.
Mr. Gilead, what do you do for a living, sir?
I currently work at a bowling and billiards hall.
How much do they pay you for doing this job?
$6.50 an hour.
Where do you live?
My dad.
How old are you?
20 years old.
Pay rent to your dad?
No.
So you live there rent-free?
Yeah, I had my own apartment for a while. I moved home because I'm actually moving out of state in a couple months, so I moved home to save up money.
How much you bring home every week?
Well, not as much as a couple $100 a week, $300-400 a week.
What?
Couple $100 a week.
You bring home $400 a week?
Well, paychecks.
He said a couple of hundred, $300-400,
well,
a couple to me
I get
is
paid.
$2, right? And then he said $300-400.
Well, I get paid every 2 weeks, and my paychecks range between $300 and $400. That's what I meant, Your Honor.
Oh, so you make between $150 and $200 a week?
Yes.
And you, sir, how old are you?
22.
And what do you do for a living?
Service technician on fire trucks and ambulances.
And how much do you make?
$10 an hour.
Where do you live?
Lincoln with my mom.
Pay rent?
No, I don't.
How much do you bring home every 2 weeks?
About $600 every 2 weeks after my child support.
After child support?
Yep.
What kind of child support?
I got a 14-month-old son.
And how much do they take out of your check for that?
$600 a month for child support and daycare.
I'm asking these questions because this is what this case is about.
Okay.
Mr. Gilead bought a truck from Mr. Bogus and paid him $4,000 for the truck.
Yeah, roughly.
What's roughly?
It was, I believe, $4,200.
And then this person who makes $150 a week goes out because the truck is running. It's a nice truck, right?
It is a nice truck.
He goes and puts something on spinners and new wheels on the truck.
Of course.
For another $3,800.
Oh, yeah. Good investment.
Something no one can live without, especially when you're saving up to start a new life. Starting a new life, most people would buy a bed or a couch. Spinners and wheels is almost like sunshine. Can't live without it.
It was...
Then, what?
I'm sorry, it was $3,200 was the
$3,200, excuse me.
Just let you know.
Another $3,200. Then, according to Michael over here, he runs into John, and John says, gee, love the way that car looks with those spinners and wheels. I'm really sorry I sold it to you. I want it back. I'd love to buy it back from you. Just about that time, Michael loses his job and has fallen on some tough financial times.
I wonder why.
This is not what he just told me just now. But he said, fine, I'll sell you back the truck. You give me $4,500 for the truck, and you can pay me the other $3,000 that I spent for the
Spinners
and wheels when you get it. And he sells him back the truck. And according to Michael, John paid him about $200 towards the spinners and wheels, and then has been avoiding him. So far, I'm pretty right?
One thing, I also have another form of income. The car deal, buying and selling them, is one thing I've done since before I even had a driver's license with my dad. He's a body man. So we would buy cars for, $1,000 or less and put a couple $100 into them and sell them to make profit.
So you have an auxiliary source of income?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
I liked the way the truck looked. I told him it's a nice-looking truck, and I never said anything about wanting to buy it back. I said I wish I could have it back. It looks good.
Oh, you said I wish I could have it back.
Yeah.
It looks good.
It looks real good.
Oh, okay, good. Go ahead.
And a couple weeks later, he calls me, and he's like, you got the title for my truck. And I was like, why, are you selling it? He's like, you want to buy it back? I was like, yeah, I got $4,000.
Just a second. You mean you hadn't given him the title?
No.
Why not?
It was about 2 weeks.
Why hadn't you given him the title?
He never asked for it, and it's just...
What?
He waited 2 weeks to ask for it.
How do you sell a truck without the title? Can I see the bill of sale, please, for the truck?
Don't have one.
Did you register the truck in your name?
No, but as far as the title goes, I had requested it on multiple occasions.
Just a second.
Okay.
Your business, according to you, was buying and selling vehicles?
Yes.
And selling. So what you're telling me is, what you want me to believe is that you have no bill of sale, you never registered the truck, in your name.
That's true.
You never insured the truck.
That's true.
You invested $3,200 in a truck that was not titled to you. Is that right?
Yes, that's true.
Is that right?
Yes, that's true.
And do you know what I say to both of you? Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of MacArthur versus Kempton, step forward.
24-year-old nurse Rebecca MacArthur is suing her former best friend, nurse Catherine Kempton, for an unpaid loan to buy furniture. Catherine says Rebecca slept with her husband.
Miss MacArthur, Miss Kempton used to be a very dear friend of yours, and according to your complaint, you made a loan to her by allowing her to use a credit card of yours to buy some furniture. Miss Kempton does not deny that you allowed her to use your credit card, and she does not deny it was a loan. She said she did pay you back some of it. You acknowledge that she paid you back some, although there is a discrepancy as to the amount. So let's take care of that part of the issue first. How much is remaining on her bill, including interest, for the furniture?
$1,408.84.
And how much did she make in payments?
She made $500 in payments.
Do you have proof that you made more than $500 in payments? Let me see.
They're all right here.
Okay. And can I see what you have with regard to the interest?
I have proof of the remaining balance along with the check that I paid and the statements with each individual payment.
Okay. You owe her considerably more than the $600 that you thought you owed her, because since you weren't making payments regularly, they were adding up interest. And that's what happens when you don't make payments regularly. Now, your defense to this matter is a rather interesting one. Your defense to this matter is you don't have to pay the money because there was an indiscretion between your husband and the plaintiff, and therefore you don't owe her any money. Forget it. It's not a defense. It's a reason to give him a hard time. It's a reason for her not to be a friend anymore if this, in fact, happened, but it's not a defense to this lawsuit. We understand each other?
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today,
When you left the ring on the table, according to you, where had the ring been?
With her.
So you took the ring off her finger?
Yes.
Do you have the ring?
No.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 24-year-old nurse Rebecca MacArthur is suing her former best friend, nurse Catherine Kempton, for an unpaid loan to buy furniture. Catherine says Rebecca slept with her husband.
Go ahead.
That was never my claim.
Well, I'm reading that in your answer.
No, it wasn't.
It said, Rebecca has put me through so much personal pain. This lawsuit is generated by the fact that she fears that I will not pay her because of what she did to me and to my family. And I owe her $600. I'm not paying a penny more. That's what you said. Somebody's got to pay the interest. Who's supposed to pay the interest?
I had no problem paying any of it.
Okay, good. Then judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,258. That's all. Thank you.
Thanks.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I just don't think much of somebody who can treat a friend and betray him with an affair.
You know, we have talked about this, and I'm just done.
It happened one time. My husband told me the very next day.
I am sorry that I lost a friend, but at the same time, I'm just it's done.
She admitted to it and then tells everybody else that it's a lie.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Edgman versus Quinlan, step forward.
22-year-old hairstylist Rebecca Edgman is suing her cousin's girlfriend, 23-year-old gas station clerk Jessica Quinlan, for a loan to buy a ring. Jessica claims she surrendered the ring to Rebecca because she couldn't afford it.
Miss Edgman, I assume this is your cousin, is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
And according to your complaint, Miss Quinlan is your cousin's girlfriend.
Yes.
And they lived with you for a period of time.
Yes, Your Honor.
While they were living with you, Miss Quinlan wanted to buy your cousin a ring.
That's correct.
Didn't have the money. You agreed to allow her to use your credit card.
Yes, Your Honor.
Then there was some sort of a disagreement. They left, and she did not pay you back for the ring.
Yes, Your Honor.
Miss Quinlan says that first the ring was a gift. Allowing her to use the credit card was your idea, for some reason, but that when they left, she left the ring. When did they move in with you?
July of 2004.
Who else lives in your home?
My girlfriend, Angie.
Tell me about this ring that you wanted to buy.
I was wanting to buy Linda the ring, but I didn't have credit, no money to get it. She offered, because Linda has done so much for her. I refused a couple of times because I don't like to have that. I don't like people to do things for me like that. And so finally we went and picked out the ring.
So finally you agreed?
Yes. We went and got the ring. After a month living there, things was getting hectic, and we were moving out, and she had said that I needed to pay for the ring, so I didn't want no conflict within the family and all that, so I told her that I was leaving the ring on the table. And
when you left the ring on the table, according to you, where had the ring been?
With her.
So you took the ring off her finger?
Yes.
What?
No, I work at a grocery store, and I had wore it a couple times to the store, and it started getting scratches. So I left it at Rebecca's house, not just that day, but days prior, because I didn't want the ring to be scratched up.
Do you have the ring?
No.
No. Good. How much was the ring?
The ring was $476.20.
Is that right, Miss Quinlan?
Yes.
Okay, that's what you owe her, Miss Quinlan.
This is one of the receipts.
That's what you owe her. 400. If you didn't pay her, that's what you owe her.
Here's the original.
We don't have the ring.
Listen to me. That's not her fault. If you took the ring and put it in her hand and say, listen, I can't pay you for this ring, take it back, see what money you can get back for it. She's not going to get $470 for it because they're not going to return it for what she paid for it because your friend says that it was scratched. She can't even return it to something that's brand new. So you have to pay for it. You got it? Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $470. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She needs money to pay for her wedding, and I wasn't going to give her that, so that's why we got brought here today.
My wedding was paid for. I paid for it all by myself, and it was paid for before the wedding. The wedding was over a month ago.
And it won't be settled, and it won't be taken care of because everybody likes to talk.
She's had to struggle tremendously, not just with her cousin, but other family members too because of it.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Banukowitz versus Broder, step forward, please.
16-year-old Nicholas Banukowitz and his father, Mark, are suing the boyfriend of Nicholas's mother, truck driver Richard Broder, for an unpaid loan to pay bills.
Mr. Banukowitz, how old are you, sir?
16.
This is your dad?
Yes.
You're living with him now?
Yes.
Tell me your first name.
Nicholas.
Nicholas, this gentleman, Mr. Broder,
Yes.
was your mom's boyfriend.
Yes.
Who is this?
I'm the mom.
Are you back together again?
Yes.
You weren't for a while.
Correct.
Anyway, you went to live for a brief period of time with your mother and her boyfriend.
I lived there off and on.
And when you weren't living there, where were you living?
With my father.
According to what I read, it is your claim that you loaned Mr. Broder $550 because things got financially tight in the house. And he asked you if you could lend him some money. You were working, you had a job after school. And you did.
Yes, ma'am.
Then they broke up for a while. You wanted your money back? He says that it was not a loan, it was towards the payment of household expenses because he put a roof over your head. That's what you're saying.
Correct.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 16-year-old Nicholas Banukowitz and his father, Mark, are suing the boyfriend of Nicholas's mother, truck driver Richard Broder, for an unpaid loan to pay bills.
All right. How old were you, Nicholas, when you moved with your mom and Mr. Broder during the period of time that you gave him this money?
15.
And where had you been working?
The supermarket.
What did you do there?
I stocked the shelves.
What did you earn an hour?
Around then, like $7.50.
How long did you work there?
I'm still there now.
So you've been working there for a couple of years?
Yes.
You work there after school?
Yes.
How do you do in school?
Good.
Great. Now, when you lived with your mother and Mr. Broder, was it your mother's house or Mr. Broder's house?
It was my mother's, but they were moving, so that's when he asked me for the money.
Was it a rental property?
Yes.
When they moved, did you move with them?
I live there. I go there once in a while, like on the weekend and stuff. I don't live there permanently.
Now, tell me about when Mr. Broder asked you for money. Do you remember when it was?
It was November 30th, 2003. He asked me for $450, and he promised to pay me back.
What did he say?
He goes, do you think you could lend me some money? We were trying to move, we were a little short.
Where were you, in the house?
Yes.
Where in the house?
The dining room.
Where was your mother?
Right next to me.
So he said, could you lend me some money? I'm a little short. We want to move. And what did you say to him?
I said, okay. And then he promised to pay me back.
What did he say? Don't tell me he promised. What did he say?
He said, I'll pay you back by the 6th of December because I'm getting a bonus or something like that from work.
Where did you keep the money?
In my house, in my room.
So you gave him the money in cash?
Yes.
When did you give him the other 100?
In September of 2004.
Why, if he hadn't paid you back the money?
Because I trusted him. He was my mother's boyfriend. I figured he would pay me back.
Between November 2003 and September 2004, almost a year passed. Did you ask him for the money?
Every month, I sent him a letter saying how much he owed me.
You have a copy of the letters?
Yep. And I also sent him a certified letter.
Mr. Broder, whether you say that this was a gift or a loan, did you ever respond to any of these letters?
No.
Why not?
I just put them aside, and because at the time I wasn't working or anything, and he really never persisted.
Okay. Now, tell me your version of this $550.
At the time, we were in financial difficulties. We both asked him for the money. And at the time, I didn't have a job. So
What about her?
She was working.
So?
So we were just paying the bills. And at the time, we ended up breaking up. And the reason why on this loan after a year is when we broke up, and that's when his father and him got involved and wanted to take me to court for the money back, for the loan.
Well, you keep saying loan, which is a nice thing. That makes my job much easier, Mr. Broder.
Well, he was living with us for a while and everything.
You used the word loan twice.
That's what he put on the paper as a
No,
loan.
that's what you just said. I understand what he said. You used the word loan twice. Do I make you that nervous, Mr. Broder?
No, you don't make me nervous.
At all?
No.
You mean you just step in your own mouth on your own, whether I make you nervous or not? What you just said to me was, I wasn't working. The mother and I asked for the loan together. The reason after a year I didn't pay back the loan was he wasn't pushing it. I mean, what's your defense to this action, Mr. Broder? I'd be really interested.
Your Honor, at
What?
the time, he was working when I lent him the
Who cares?
$450.
I asked him. I want to know his defense. I'm listening. And I have other things to do today. Do we have a defense, Mr.
No,
Broder?
we don't have a defense. I'm
Judgment
sorry.
for the plaintiff for the amount of $550. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are 79 on the calendar in the matter of Stefanella versus Ross. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated, sir. Have a seat.
Mr. Finella, Mr. Ross used to be your boyfriend. He's not your boyfriend anymore, and you say he owes you a lot of money for a lot of different things. I'm going to let you start with what you perceive to be the first amount of money he owes you for, and what was the nature of that indebtedness?
He tried to rewire the stereo system in my vehicle.
In your car?
Yes.
And when did he try to do that?
March of 2004.
A very long time ago. Were you living together at the time?
No, we were separated, but we were trying to work out our relationship.
Had you asked him to rewire the stereo system in your car?
No. I came out and I argued with him because I saw him doing it.
You just came over on your own volition and started to rewire her stereo?
No.
Well, what happened?
I never touched her stereo without her asking me to.
Well, tell me what you did to her stereo.
Something was wrong with the amp, and I plugged the power cord into the fuse box. And that's it.
What did you rewire?
The amp. The power cord for the amp.
The amp. I don't know what that is.
The amplifier
I'm
for
a
the
jurist.
subwoofer.
What?
The amplifier for the subwoofer. Something was wrong with it. I don't remember what it was.
Is that what he tried to do? Do something with your woofer?
The amplifier.
He tried to rewire the amp to make the amp work, and he plugged the power wire into the fuse box that's inside the car, and he said, trust me, I know what I'm doing.
And you said?
I argued with him, and I said, I don't. It was him, his brother, and another friend of theirs. He did it at his mom's house, and he did it without me knowing.
How'd your car get to his mom's house?
We drove down there. We were trying to rekindle our relationship at the time.
Mr. Finella. And a month later, your car caught on fire?
Yes, and I had an appointment at Best Buy in the middle of April to get it rewired because I didn't trust what he did.
You didn't go there fast enough. That was March of '04. Anything more recent that he owes you for?
We had a year lease together that he never gave me any
now,
money
after
for.
after he rewired your car imperfectly, according to you, that I'm not listening to, you entered into a lease with him?
We got back together.
Got back together again, without him paying for the car?
He had a job at the time.
Without him paying for the car?
Right.
You got back together again and signed up?
A year.
When?
It was May 1st of 2004.
And what was the amount of the rent on the apartment?
It was $525 a month, plus $525 security deposit.
So now what do you want from him?
I want him to pay for all the month's rent that he never did. He had a job, and he never gave me anything for it. He never paid me any rent. We argued constantly about it. I threatened to take him off the lease. He threatened me back and said, take me off the lease, watch what I'll do to you, which Mr. Cozy witnessed. He joked around with his friends about killing me.
Killing you, I have no jurisdiction over. The rent, I'm going to ask him about.
I have
Mr. Ross.
Receipts.
How old are you, sir?
24.
I want you to keep your voice up. You hear how loud I'm talking?
Yes, ma'am.
You can hear me, right?
Yes.
You don't want me to strain to hear you. If I strain, I get really nasty. If you think this is nasty, it's not.
I've seen you. I watch you.
What do you do for a living?
Now, nothing.
Well, how do you support yourself?
I do odds and ends, but I live with my mother, helping her out because she's terminally sick, and I raise my daughter.
You have a child?
Yes, ma'am.
Oi. How old is your child?
She'll be 5 in May.
Where's her mother?
Not quite sure.
Well, who takes care of your child?
I do.
Where was your child when you were living with Miss Stefanella?
From time to time, she was usually with me. Sometimes her mother got stupid and took her from me.
Who was paying the rent when you were living with Miss Stefanella?
She was most of the time.
Why didn't you pay your share of the rent?
Because a lot of the time I wasn't working, but...
Why weren't you working?
I was dumb. What else? I don't know.
Because he was doing drugs and having underage drinking parties.
Well, so he was doing drugs, Miss Stefanella. Now, I could have suggested to you, I'm speaking. I could have suggested to you that Mr. Ross was doing drugs, and I've only met him just a moment ago. He doesn't recognize it yet, but the drugs that he did up until age 24 have done a substantial job of frying his brain. You understand that, Mr. Ross, don't you?
Yes.
Well, that's pretty stupid, especially if you have a 5-year-old child and you are the better of the two parents.
I smoked marijuana, that was it. She's got it in her head that I was doing all types of other stuff.
Your Honor, I have police reports that state that he was, from the chief himself.
Mr. Ross?
Yes, ma'am.
Quite frankly, I am caring less and less about Miss Stefanella's claims of rent and other nonsense that you owe her. Because if she was smart, she would recognize that since she seems to be a relatively together person, that the happiest day of her life was when she got rid of you. So she should get down and kiss the ground and say, thank God I got rid of him before I had a child with him, before he cost me any more money. Worst thing that's happening is I'm living in an apartment, and if you're still living there, are you still living there?
No, I had to move out.
So you moved out?
Because I caught him doing cocaine.
Yeah. Listen, was he doing marijuana before that? According to you?
From time to time.
Well, from time to time he was doing marijuana, and he wasn't working, right?
He was working, but he wasn't giving me any money.
Well, what did you think he was doing with
Your Honor, that is completely untrue.
What did you think he was doing with the money?
Drugs.
Drugs.
And buying beer for the underage people that he had drinking when I was at work.
Listen, Miss Stefanella, my dear, how old are you?
I'm 26.
You made a bad choice. Is this the first bad choice that you've made?
No.
So you're supposed to learn from your mistakes. You think that you could look at him through my eyes for a second? Take a look at him. Is this someone that you would want to have father your children?
No.
You got off scot-free.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
The police were called that day due to drugs being on the property.
When did the police arrive?
When I called them because I caught people doing cocaine up in the bedroom.
And later today,
You had a brain whatever and decided that you had to have a $5,000 dog.
I did not ask Miss Hooten to give me the loan. She offered.
That's a dumb thing to say.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Angela Stefanella claims ex-boyfriend David Ross owes for breaking a lease, the cost of a mattress, and for damaging her car when he tried to fix it.
What bills are you still getting that belong to Mr. Ross?
The electric bill from the old house. He had no money to get oil, so they had the stove on constantly. And I have an electric bill here. Him and his friends. He partied there constantly.
You mean when you moved out?
Yes.
After you moved out?
After I moved out, they partied there constantly.
How long did you live there, Mr. Ross?
2 or 3 weeks, maybe.
He got evicted.
What were you doing for the 3 weeks that you were living there? Or 4 weeks that you were living there?
She's pretty much correct. Partying, having fun.
Well, who's supposed to pay for all those bills that you racked
She
up?
told me she took the electricity out of her name.
Can I see it, please? When did you move out?
I moved out at the end of January.
Okay. Well, this is a balance as of February 8th, madam. We're talking about 1 week on the electric bill that he was living there by himself without you.
Yes, and I'm asking him to pay half, and he never did.
He owed you money for a year for your car, according to you, which I think is a lot of nonsense, right?
Yeah, I have it.
He never paid you. So instead of recognizing, instead of saying, guy's a deadbeat, he owes me for this, he said he was going to pay me, never did, instead of saying, I'm not going to put myself in a position of being in business with him, you sign a lease with him. You know he's doing drugs. Then you get yourself even more involved with him, and you don't even put him out right away.
I did. I threatened to have him taken off the lease, and that's when he threatened me back. I called the police, and they would not remove him from the residence because he was on the lease.
They can't remove him from the residence because his name's on the lease.
Exactly. So I had to leave because he said he wouldn't.
How many months did you live there free of charge, Mr. Ross?
I don't know, because I did work, and when I did work, I did give her money. I just didn't work constantly.
You punched a hole in the wall, according to her
Yeah.
complaint. Did you do that?
Yeah.
Security deposit is $525?
Yeah.
How much did you get back?
None.
Nothing?
No, because there was dog feces everywhere from the puppy that he had gotten.
You got a dog?
I have that
Yeah, I have
stated
a
in the
dog,
police
and there
report.
was a dog everywhere.
I have
Just
that
a second,
in the
there
police
was a
report.
dog?
Yeah, I have a dog.
Why did you have a dog instead of a job?
I did have a
take care of
job.
the dog?
I had a job up until I moved down to my mother's.
No, he didn't, Your Honor.
Okay. Why'd you punch a hole in the wall, sir?
I don't remember exactly the reasons, but I imagine because I was mad about something.
Because,
Probably
well,
her.
that you owe her for. That's $525. She didn't get her security deposit back, which you didn't pay for.
Okay, but the last time we talked about the security deposit, after we broken up and we were still talking decent, she came to me and she said that she asked me if I could pay her half of it, and I agreed to that.
So show me where you paid her half.
I didn't.
Now you're going to pay her the whole thing.
Okay.
Now, the last part of your complaint deals with a mattress.
Yes.
When you left the house, you left the mattress there. The mattress was yours. You claimed that you came back and the mattress was disgusting. He says you left the mattress there, so what do you care what it looked like? Did you come back for the mattress?
Yes. I came back 2 days after he was out. I was told not to go back to the house from the police because there were warrants on him, criminal warrants on him.
What happened to the mattress, sir?
The mattress, when she came and moved all her stuff out, she told me she didn't want it.
Did she remove any other furniture?
Yeah, everything, every other single solitary thing that was hers in that house that she wanted, she moved.
Did you move out of the furniture in the house?
I moved out other furniture, but not all of it, because I was told not to go back by the police.
When did you move out the other furniture?
On the 11th of February.
Who did you go there with?
My witness.
And what furniture did you take out?
Couches, my bedroom furniture, whatever we could fit in the van that he had.
And where was he?
Right there.
So there was no problem?
No.
Oh, I helped him move.
Perfect. If you wanted the mattress, you would have taken it.
I couldn't go back because the police were called that day due to drugs being on the property.
You mean in between the time you got your couches out and you wanted to go back for your mattress, you were advised by the police not to go back?
Yes.
Shh.
There was methamphetamines on the property.
When? Just a second. When did the police arrive?
When I called them because I caught people doing cocaine up in the bedroom.
Oh, so you called, after you finished removing your property, you called the police?
Yes.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of the security deposit, $525. That's all. Step out.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I wasn't no good for her. I told her that hundreds of times over the 2.5 years that we were together.
He just said he wasn't good enough for me. It was because he was messing around with a 15-year-old.
Yeah, it was drug use, smoked weed, did some coke.
He's a loser.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Hooten versus Sparks. Step forward.
22-year-old student Brooke Hooten is suing her former best friend, 23-year-old aviation technician Valerie Sparks, for a loan to buy an English bulldog. Valerie says Brooke's father repossessed the dog.
Miss Hooten, according to what I read, your friend, Miss Sparks, wanted a dog. saw one that she liked, but it was a pricey dog. You bought it from a pet store?
That's correct.
And you agreed to finance the dog for her because she had lousy credit.
Correct.
All in all, it came to almost $5,000. It was an English bulldog. The dog itself cost how much?
$3,500.
They have great dogs at the pound if you can't afford to buy a dog. And then with all of the accoutrements, it came up to how much?
$5,104, I believe, with a 21% finance fee.
Miss Sparks was supposed to pay the bill.
Correct.
She didn't.
Right.
So you did?
I had written one letter to her and trying to agree to make some kind of agreement to make a payment, something like that.
Why didn't you make a payment, Miss Sparks?
She did make one payment of $250.
When was the dog purchased?
July 17th, 2004.
And when did you make the $250 payment?
October 31st, 2004.
When was the first payment due?
September sometime.
Why didn't you make the September payment?
I had contacted the plaintiff many times and asked her to call me and tell me how much and when that bill was due. She had never told me when that payment was due or even how much it was.
No.
Brooke Houghton says her former best friend, Valerie Sparks, owes for the cost of an English bulldog.
You took the dog back?
Yes.
When?
My father went and got the dog in late November of 2004.
So you didn't make November's payment?
No, ma'am.
Well, immediately prior to that, what was the conversation that you had with Miss Houghton?
Prior to that, I received a letter in the mail that gave me 4 options. It said first there was a promissory note that was attached with the letter.
Show me the letter.
I don't have it with me.
Well, where is it?
I do.
Can I see it, please? Where's your copy?
It's at my house. I could not find it.
Main one.
Stupid people. Stupid, impulsive people. So, Miss Houghton, I gather from this letter, you offered her, among other options, the option to have your father go down and retrieve the dog.
Correct.
And then you would sell it. That's what she opted to do.
Yes.
According to your complaint, you sold somebody the dog for $300.
Yes.
Well, that's not a good faith sale, Miss Houghton. The law ascribes to you that you will make a good faith sale so that you diminish her liability. You got it? Now, the dog is certainly at this point at least 5 months older. How old was the dog when you sold it?
3 or 4 months old.
How old was the dog when you got it?
The dog was already 2 months old when we sold it. When we bought it.
When you bought it. So the dog was now 6 months old.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, according to this letter that is in November of 2004, at that time you owed $4,000. What was the payoff on the loan?
My witness, my dad, would know. He was the one that took out the loan. And
why in the world would you do that, Mr. Houghton?
Well, between this situation, Your Honor, and also between another matter involving these two, my daughter's credit was down in the dooms. So to help her out and get things squared off, I did that for her.
You took over this loan?
Yes, ma'am.
How much was it when you took it over?
It was right at, it was $3,759, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. You have anything else to say to me?
Well, I was under the understanding by what Ms. Houghton told me that if the dog's repossessed, that's it. And I would owe from the time that I had the dog until the time the dog was repossessed.
It's not leasing a car.
It's almost the same thing. That's what I explained to her, is that it's almost like property. That's what it is. It is an animal.
Let me explain something to you. You agreed that this was your responsibility, not her responsibility, not her father's responsibility. You had a brain whatever and decided that you had to have a $5,000 dog.
She offered to get the loan.
True, just a second. That's a dumb thing to say.
No, ma'am.
Now, that's a dumb thing to say. How old are you?
I'm 23.
You're 23. Well, if you're 23 and you're not dumb, then if somebody says to you, listen, if your credit won't let you have the dog, but if you're prepared to pay me back, I'll loan you the money, I'll take out the loan, and she's your friend, then you say, if you don't have sawdust in your brains, you say, no, I'm not going to take on another responsibility because I really can't afford it. The loan that your father paid off was $3,750.
Correct.
You got $300, according to you, for the dog. I am ascribing the value of the dog at $1,200. Now, you say that she paid you $250. Correct? Okay, so then what she owes you is $2,550. Mr. Hooten, what other financial interaction did your daughter have with the defendant and her witness?
With her defendant, just this matter, Your Honor. The witness.
How are you related to her?
I'm her fiance.
She was a fiancé at the time of this whole incident.
He was
occurred.
my fiance at the time of this whole incident occurred.
He was your fiance?
Yes.
I got it. Got it.
Big mess.
Say no more.
Don't want to go there.
I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,550. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Now, this is case number 139 on the calendar in the matter of Ruddock versus Deem. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Mrs. Ruddock, it is your claim that the defendant has your property from your home, television, furniture, etc. The defendant says that you sold him this property, and he has a notarized bill of sale to prove it. How do you know him?
Years ago, when I was in property management, I leased him and his best friend an apartment. And through the years, I had gotten married. Recently, we had gotten back in contact.
How did you do that?
I had made a phone call to him. Me and my husband were having issues at the time. And
were you and your husband still living together?
No, we were separated.
So you contacted him for what purpose?
We were together at one time.
You were a couple?
Yes.
My question is, you contacted him, why?
Out of old caring feelings, that kind of thing.
Okay. When did you contact him?
I believe it was in September.
And you and your husband were not living together at the
No.
time? Okay. So how did he come into possession of your furniture?
Back in November, around Thanksgiving time, he works with a bail bond company, and him and his friends had gone into one of their clients' homes and were staking it out. And they were waiting for the client to come back into the home and get money back from him so he could be released. And my notary stamp was involved in this, and he clearly told me that he had taken it, used my name, signed my name on this power of attorney to remove the belongings from this home.
Just a second. What does that have to do with your furniture?
What that has to do with it is the state of Nevada had pressed charges on him and had gotten contact with me in December.
Just a second. So far, all you've told me is that in September of 2003, you were separated from your husband, and you put in a call to Mr. Deem because you and he were a couple at one time.
Correct.
That's all I heard. Then I heard some bubba-mices about him being in somebody else's house with Richard Dreyfuss on a stakeout. Do you understand?
Correct.
We're not at your house yet.
Okay.
With your furniture.
Basically, what happened in December is I'd been contacted by the state of Nevada.
No, you're back there again, Mrs. Ruddock.
I had to leave for my safety.
Mrs. Ruddock, I don't know how he came to live in your house, madam.
Because he had established residence there.
Well, we didn't get to that. So let's go back to September when you placed a phone call to him. You said hello. He said hello.
We became a couple again.
I don't know what that means, we became a couple.
He moved into my home.
When did he move into your home?
Probably the first part of October, along with his daughter. Then in December, I was contacted by the state of Nevada that my car had been involved in a criminal activity.
Your what?
My Cadillac, my car, my vehicle that Mr. Deem had been driving. And at that time, me and him had decided to go our separate ways, and he had contacted me when I was at work on my cell phone telling me to bring his belongings back to him. Or I could say sorry, and this would all go away.
Just a second. Miss Ruddock, you are all over the place, and I'm having a really difficult time following you, madam. Was he living in your home, or was he not living in your home?
Yes, he was living in my home.
So in December, he was living in your home?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And at that time, on that same day...
What day?
It was December 8th or the 7th of 2003.
Okay.
And he had called telling me if I didn't bring his car back to him, then everything could be okay with us if I said sorry. I feared for my safety at that time because I'd been in contact with the state of Nevada. I got my children and went to California because I had told them what I knew, what he'd done with my notary stamp in forging my name on this power of attorney where it goes back in November. And I left with my children at that time for fear of my safety. When I came back on December 14th, I had called the police, and they went up with me. They looked at the 5-day on the notice, and the cop handed it to me. He says, "Are you aware that you've been served this 5-day?"
I have no idea what you're talking about.
This 5-day right here.
What do you mean you have been served with a 5-day?
That's what
a 5-day what?
A 5-day notice to leave my home.
Who was on the lease in your home?
My husband, myself, and my children. This is the lease right here. So I held the original lease.
Well, your children can't sign a lease.
No, but they just put 2 adults, 2 children.
Okay. December 7th or 8th you left. Is that what you say? And
It
you
was
came
on a
back
Monday.
on December 14th. And between December 7th or 8th and December 14th is when you say he came into possession of your furniture and your belongings?
Correct.
Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. All right, Mr. Dean. You do not deny that you have Mrs. Ruddock's furniture and television, et cetera, but it is your claim that she sold you all this property. Is that
Yes,
right?
Your Honor.
All right. So let me hear how she sold you the property, sir.
Well, let's put a little clarity on this. As Ms. Ruddock was saying, I knew her years ago. She was dating my bounty hunting partner at the time. And once they broke it off, we dated for a couple weeks till I found out that she was still seeing her husband.
Okay. All right, listen to me. I don't want to go back that far,
Okay.
Mr. Dean. You have her furniture. Prove to me, sir, that she sold it to you because she owed you money.
That's what I think, but what it is, it was another little thing she was doing as far as so her husband wouldn't get half the belongings.
You swore in your answer, sir, that she sold you her furniture because she owed you money. That's
did.
what you said. So I want you to try sticking to one story. Explain to me how she owed you money, for what, and when she sold you the furniture.
She told me that she was selling me the furniture for the money that she owed me, but I knew because...
Just a minute. Tell me what money she owed you, Mr. Dean.
I paid off her warrants. I paid
paid off her warrants. Warrants for what?
For bad checks, Your Honor.
Okay. And you paid them off how, sir?
By giving her the money which she never used to pay the warrants.
Show me.
Show you?
Show me check, money order, withdrawal from a bank.
I gave her cash, Your Honor.
Show me check, money order, or withdrawal from the bank.
I don't have that, Your Honor. Just my daughter is a witness attesting to that.
I'm not going to ask her a question. I mean, what do you think you were coming to court for, sir? Tea dance?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
And what I'm telling you is this isn't worth anything. If you are aware that she is trying to commit a fraud, then this goes in the garbage. Do you understand, Mr. Dean?
And later today,
She's the one that told me that she had let her do it because my daughter has a problem with her mouth.
No, I don't allow other kids to hit kids in my care, Your Honor.
I've seen it.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Marlene Ruddock claims ex-boyfriend Tim Dean forged documents in order to steal her belongings. Tim says Marlene was trying to hide property from her ex-husband.
First of all, let me see the bill of sale, and then you're going to explain to me exactly how she was compensated for her furniture. Show me the bill of sale and then explain to me how she was
The officers
compensated.
gave it to her. She has a copy of it, Your Honor.
You have the bill of sale?
Yes, I do, Your Honor. And this is also...
Don't speak. Just show it to me. I have a feeling you two of you deserve each other.
This is forged, Your Honor. That's what my...
I didn't ask you a thing. I asked you for the bill of sale. Do you understand?
Yes.
I mean, I think that you're a con artist as well. I know he is. I don't think you're much better. We'll show this to him. Let's see if this is. Is that the bill of sale, sir, that you showed the police?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
Ah, okay, Mr. Dean. So I am correct, sir. When she came back on December the 14th, she said, give me my furniture back. You say, I have a bill of sale, right? She sold me the furniture.
Correct.
Right? She sold you the furniture for a big screen Mitsubishi television set for $1, all household furnishings for $1, all tools for $1, all appliances for $1, all wall hangers for $1, all bedding for $1, and the 1993 Cadillac Eldorado for $2.50.
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, are you still living in the apartment, sir?
It's a house, Your Honor,
Are you
yes.
still living in the house?
Correct.
Good. With all of this stuff? With all of this stuff?
No. The only thing,
yeah, listen to me,
The
sir.
only thing of value was the big screen TV. In fact, everything
Now
else
listen to
was-
me, sir. Now I want you to listen to me very, very carefully.
Okay.
Did I tell you about 5 minutes ago that I'm smarter than you are? I don't think you believe me. This is not a bill of sale that reflects the value of this property.
Exactly. Your
And
Honor.
if what you're telling me is that you knew that what Ms. Ruddock was trying to do was to fraudulently convey marital property to you, is that what you're telling me?
That's what I'm telling you.
Then what I'm telling you is this isn't worth anything. Do you understand? If you are aware that she is trying to commit a fraud and you are complicit in that, then this goes in the garbage. Do you understand, Mr. Dean?
She owed me the money, Your Honor.
No, now we're getting back to, oh, she owed me the money. And what I'm telling you is, show me. I want you to show me. And if you can't, say, I can't.
I can't, Your Honor.
Good. Then I find that that is a fraudulent conveyance, and within 5 days, she will be there with a moving van to pick up all the items on that piece of garbage, including all of the household furniture, the television, etc.
Everything of those items is mine, Your Honor. As far
Listen
as the
to
money...
me. Listen to me, sir. Show me. Show me, Mr. Dean.
Those items are mine.
That is too bad. And I'm telling you, she is coming to pick up your property.
No, she's
the
not, Your
property,
Honor.
sir. Yes, 5 days from today. Absolutely, Mr. Dean. That is what's going to happen, sir. Now let's get to your counterclaim. I don't want to hear anything else. Counterclaim, Mr. Dean.
Your Honor, I know exactly what's going on here, and I don't appreciate it.
That's too bad, sir. If you're not going to get to your counterclaim is dismissed with prejudice. Step out. 5 days from today, the court will
Thank you,
enter an
Your
order.
Honor.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I've got a temporary restraining order from this woman.
As I've said before, he's a shyster.
She slashed my tires.
Me slashing tires is not my style, that's his.
She tried to tow my vehicles.
He knows that everything he said was a lie.
She's psycho.
I'm glad Judge Judy ruled in my favor.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Barclay versus Korn. Step forward.
Child care provider Mary Barclay is suing her former client, Marie Korn, for unpaid babysitting fees. Marie says Mary's home wasn't a safe environment for her children.
Miss Barclay, you were hired by Miss Korn to babysit for her children. And according to you, you had the following arrangement. She was receiving money from the state for child care, I gather, because of her income. And you were to receive money from the state to take care of the children. In addition, according to you, you claim that you had an agreement that if you babysat additional periods of time, she would pay you over and above what the state paid. It is your claim that you were paid by the state, but were not paid for the overtime that you worked for Miss Korn. That's what your case is about.
Yes.
And Ms. Korn says that you were paid everything that was agreed upon, which was the amount of money that the state paid for babysitting, and she removed the children because of what she perceived to be inadequate care. Ms. Barclay, do you babysit for a living? Do you have daycare facility?
I babysit other children in my home.
And how many children?
Probably 3. I watch my grandsons a lot.
How many grandsons do you have?
2.
And how many children did Ms. Korn have?
2.
So you had 4 children in your house.
Mm-hmm.
When did you start to babysit for Ms. Korn's children?
March 19th, I do believe.
And when did you cease babysitting for her?
August 10th, 2004.
How many days a week?
5 days a week.
What time to what time?
Her hours varied.
And did you fill out a timesheet for the state?
Yes, I did.
And were you paid according to that timesheet?
I was paid for the state's part.
What do you mean you were paid for the state's part?
The
What did that
state
mean?
only allows a certain amount of hours a month to be paid.
And how many hours is that?
180.
So it's about 8 or 9 hours a day. Is that right?
Or more.
Okay, so let me hear.
Well, I babysat a lot longer than that. She is responsible for anything that the state did not pay.
Show me your agreement with her, Miss Barclay.
We don't have a written agreement, but I told her that she was responsible for anything that the state did not pay.
And what did she say to you?
She said okay.
Well, in the month of April of 2004, did you babysit more than the 180 hours?
Yes, I did.
Did she pay you any money?
No.
In the month of May, did you babysit for more than 180 hours?
Yes.
Did she pay you any money?
No.
In June, did she pay you any money?
No.
Yes.
Well,
Yes. I paid a co-payment.
She paid me $25, but not until July 9th.
What was the $25 for?
That was a co-payment.
What is a co-payment?
The state paid a certain amount, and I was responsible for $25.
Just $25? Is that what it says in your state contract?
That's what it said, yes. They sent me a form saying I owed her $25 for my co-payment.
How much did you receive from the state each full month that you babysat for the children?
The most they would pay me is $594.
So $600 a month. Is that right?
Yeah.
And I assume you got the maximum each month.
Yes.
And at the same time, you were home with your 2 grandsons. Is that right? So you were home anyway and making an extra $600. Okay. Now, did you have an agreement with Miss Barkley to pay her money over and above what the state paid?
Yes.
And how much were you supposed to pay her?
I don't know. We asked her several times for a figure, and she never gave me the hours.
So when for the first time did she ask you for additional money?
About June.
And tell me about the conversation.
She said that she was having problems having her house payment, making her house payment, and she needed the extra money then, and asked me when I could pay it. My husband asked her for the hours that we owed her, and she did not give it to him several times. He asked her.
Did you have an agreement to pay her additional hours prior to June?
Yes.
So you owe her for the additional hours?
Not as much as she says.
Did you have her, Miss Barkley, for the months that you babysat, sign something at the end of each month indicating the number of hours that you worked?
Yes.
Can I see it, please?
I don't have that copy, but I have the receipt from the state that shows all the hours and the amount I billed and how much that...
Well, let me see.
Well, let's see. And here's a breakdown of it.
I don't want a breakdown. I want to see what the state sent you. That's very simple. Not what you wrote for this case, but what the state sent you. Oh, well, it's very easy because it says here parent amount. Okay. Since you acknowledged that you had an arrangement with her that you were going to make payments over and above what the state paid her for the time that she watched the children during the hours that you were supposed to be working, you acknowledged that.
Right.
And the state authorized certain payments, and you acknowledged that you were supposed to pay her what the state did not authorize. You owe her $1,315 unless there was a reason why you shouldn't pay it. Is there?
At the time, my kids were not in a safe environment. She was not just watching her grandchildren and my children. There was a 13-year-old there who was hitting and kicking my daughter.
When did you find out about that?
My daughter came home and had a bruise on her stomach.
When?
That was in June.
She continued to babysit, according to this,
did.
until August. So one of your children came home with a bruise in her stomach, and you let her stay there?
As long as the 13-year-old wasn't there.
Well, when did you have a discussion with her about the 13-year-old?
She's the one that told me that she had let her do it because my daughter has a problem with her mouth.
No, I don't allow other kids to hit kids in my care, Your Honor. That is definitely forbidden with me.
I've seen it.
Well, listen to me.
Hello.
Listen to me. I can't believe that a normal parent, if she felt as if her children were being abused in your home, would leave your children there.
It happened once, Your Honor.
Well, then you didn't think it was so serious.
At the time, I thought my daughter had lied to me.
Well, then that's not a reason not to pay her the money that you owed her.
But then when my husband asked her to account for the hours, she couldn't.
Well, now we know that the state's accounted for the hours. Say anything?
Yes, I do.
Say it fast.
Would like to say there was 3 or 4 times that the kids were dropped off at our house to the gentleman, our next door neighbor, and he would just open our door and just let the kids loose. I mean, there was nobody there watching our kids at all, and that's towards the end when we finally found a different babysitter.
Why did you let your children go back there?
We didn't after that.
Yeah, we didn't after that.
You said there were 3 or 4 times. The first time somebody would drop off my children who were babies like this and just put them in a house would be the last time they would babysit. Why did you bring the children back there for it to happen another 3 times?
We don't have other options with a babysitter.
His mother...
I wanted to explain something to you. Let's keep our fingers crossed for these children.
Okay.
Okay. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,315.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
The state says we owe the money.
Case number 353 on the calendar in the matter of Brakefield Jesse versus Blake. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Have a seat.
Mr. Brakefield, this is your girlfriend, is that right?
This is my wife.
This is your wife now?
Yes.
At the time of this, it was your girlfriend?
At the time of it, yeah.
Okay. According to what I read, several years ago, you had either a relationship with somebody, you had a brief marriage.
I was married to my first wife.
Okay. And that marriage produced a child.
Yes, it did.
A child that your then-wife was not interested in raising.
That's correct.
And you took custody of that child.
Yes, I did.
But you weren't either in a position or you weren't interested in being a full-time parent either. So you turned your son over to the defendant for the purpose of care. And Mrs. Blake cared for your son for how many years?
21 months.
And during that 21 months, you were in the armed forces?
Yes.
Where were you stationed?
It was in Point Loma, California, in San Diego.
And Mrs. Blake cared for your son every day? He slept there?
Not full-time, no. She was a daycare provider and a close friend.
You mean your son was only there during the day?
He was there during the day, except for Tuesdays and Thursday nights where she offered to keep him overnight so that I could go work out at the gym and perhaps get some more personal time.
Other than that, he slept at your house?
He slept overnight at my house, yes.
Is that correct?
No, it's not correct. He was with me 24/7 for the first 4 months. He didn't even come by to visit his son, but twice. That was only after we requested it.
So for the first 4 months, he was with you full-time?
He was with me full-time the whole 21 months.
Does that sound right?
No, it's not correct at all.
Okay. Whether the child was with you 24/7 for the first 4 months or 21 months, practically full-time, you started a new relationship with the co-plaintiff, and you decided that it was no longer necessary for Mrs. Blake to take care of your son, so you picked him up one day from her home, didn't tell her that you did not plan to return him, and took him, I assume, back to your house.
Yes.
Mrs. Blake called Child Protective Services. She tried to contact you. She didn't know where you were. She didn't know where the child was. She called Child Protective Services, and she made a report of suspected child abuse and/or neglect. And you did do that.
Yes,
you acknowledged that you did that.
Yes, I did, and I was concerned deeply about Cody. He was not ever out of my sight without me knowing where he was more than 2 days.
Just a second. Well, that's what your case is involving. Your case is involving this call to Child Protective Services, which you say were unnecessary and unwarranted, causing you all kinds of grief, and you want to be compensated for that.
Yes.
And Mrs. Blake said that what you really did was amount to kidnapping this child without telling her that you were taking him, without telling her that you did not intend to return him to the home. And she had a legitimate concern about his well-being, and she called Child Protective Services. Right?
That's correct.
So, there's no question that for almost 2 years, Miss Blake was an integral part of your son's life. Is that right?
That's true.
How did he refer to her?
Mom.
I'm asking him.
He called her mom because that's how she'd call him mommy. She'd call him mamas, so that what he would say when he was around her.
All I want to know from you is, I want a direct answer to my question. Direct answer to my question, Mr. Brakefield, is that he called the defendant mommy, right?
Yes.
Cody also calls him mommy. He also calls me mommy. He calls a lot of people mommy.
I didn't ask you anything yet. Nothing. How did you find Mrs. Blake?
She was a wife of one of my coworkers when I was at a different command.
You must have regarded her highly if you turned your son over to her.
I didn't have anybody else.
So what you're telling me is you would have turned him over to anybody because you needed a babysitter. Is that what you're telling me?
No. She offered to help me out. I was in a tight situation. She offered to help me out, and I accepted her help.
Mr. Brakefield, you're not going to be able to get away from my question. Either you believed that she was a quality caregiver, or you didn't know whether she was a quality caregiver or not, but you used her anyway.
I believe she was a quality caregiver.
That's a better answer. So, did anything happen during the course of the 21 months that Mrs. Blake was caring for your son that led you to believe that she was not a quality caregiver?
Yes.
Tell me what that was.
There were several occasions where I went into her house when picking my son up from her. There would be dog feces outside of her bedroom or down near her office, and she would tell her son to clean it up, and it would just stay there.
So that happened when?
On several occasions.
How much into the babysitting?
It was probably anywhere from 6 months to a year and a half into it.
Well, you weren't sufficiently concerned about that to take your son out and find a different daycare for him, right?
I felt it was something that I could resolve.
How could you resolve that?
By talking to her and saying, no, I've brought this up to you on past occasions.
So what I'm asking you is, it never reached the point where you felt as if your child was in danger.
Not in physical danger, no.
Well, in physical danger from being in a place that was unclean.
Well, he was allowed to walk around with cleaning products like the dishwasher pillow packets. I brought that up, and I was told, oh, he can't break those open. They're tough to open. You can barely, it's hard to open them, so he's perfectly safe.
When during the course of her babysitting for your son did that happen? How old was he?
It actually happened on multiple occasions. I just kept bringing it up, and said, oh, he's fine. And then one day I get a phone call from her saying, well, I'm not going to let him walk around with the cleaners anymore. He just sprayed 409 into Trevor's eyes.
When did you take your son out of Miss Blake's care?
On the 25th of July of this year.
And what was the impetus of you doing that?
I have a letter that I sent her that listed the reasons why I was terminating her services.
Let me see the letter.
The straw that broke the camel's back was that I allowed her to take my son to Las Vegas because she was going there for 4 days, one of which on the very first day was my dad's day off because my father lives there. And I would figure, well, she can take my son to see his grandfather.
Yes.
So the very first day that she was there, it was my dad's day off. My dad did not see his grandson that day.
Go ahead.
My dad didn't see his grandson until the night before they left, and only for half an hour. So I was on the phone with my dad when she walked in the front door. So my dad says, well, they're here, I'm going to see my grandson. I hung up the phone. A half hour later, I called him back expecting to hear, oh yeah, everything's going great, I'm loving my grandson. I don't get that. I get, she doesn't like you. I said, well, Dad, why doesn't she like me? She has nothing good to say about you. She said, you're self-centered. She says, you're never there for your son. And I said, this is why I had her as a babysitter, because I'm in the Navy and sometimes I do work some late hours and I live 40 miles from work. So sometimes I go home and I sit in traffic for an hour and a half and I don't get there till 6, 7 o'clock at night. And it's not that I don't want to be there for my son. It's just that I had her services so that I wouldn't have to go to my boss and say, it's 4 o'clock, I got to pick up my son from daycare.
Your Honor? Just a second. Okay. So are you telling me that the reason you decided to terminate her employment, by the way, how much did you pay her?
$300 twice a month. My father also told me that...
Don't tell me anything that your father told you, sir, because that's all hearsay. So you paid her a little over $600 a month. Is that right?
He didn't pay for the first 4 months. We got the baby on December 26th. He had nothing, no diapers, no clothes, no items. This is the first baby item I bought him.
Just a second. So what you're telling me the first 4 months
4
he
months,
gave you?
nothing. Not
Is that right?
one dime.
No, that's not true.
Show me proof that for the first 4 months you paid her $300 twice a month.
I paid her in cash. She insisted on it.
And later?
It was all cash. I mean, I paid her by check one time, and she got upset because she said she didn't want to have to make a trip to the bank.
So let me ask you this question, sir. You wrote this after you had already taken your son
out of her
without
care.
telling her.
Right.
So
but she
Your
has
Honor, I have court documents to where Carolyn was so involved in his divorce and so pushy in regards to the care of Carolyn that
Cody.
the attorney actually asked that she not be in the picture anymore.
Doesn't make any difference. I told you once before. I didn't ask you anything. When did you meet him?
In March.
When did you start dating?
March.
And were you dating in April?
Yes.
Where did you live?
In Oceanside.
How did you meet him?
I met him online.
And when did you decide to get married?
June.
So you decided to get married in June, and in July, all of these irritants that had been bothering him for 2 years all of a sudden made it so that he took the child out of Miss Blake's custody without giving her any advanced warning. Is that the time frame we're talking about?
That's right.
Right. I got it. So you'll answer me when I ask you a question. Do you have children?
No.
Okay. Is somebody from Child Protective Services currently monitoring your home?
No, they closed the case.
Did I look as if I was looking at you? I was looking at him.
They closed the case and they sent they gave me a letter.
I want to see the closed letter. This letter suggests that they conducted an investigation over a 2-month period and that you now have your child in a licensed daycare facility, but they recommend that he be tested at the Hope Infant program because the daycare provider thinks that the child may have some developmental deficiencies. Have you done that, sir?
I have already.
And what's the result?
The daycare provider thought he might have a speech delay like one of his other brothers did. And I had a representative of the Hope Infant program come to my home, and it was determined that he does not have a speech delay because he's been talking, he's been putting 3-word sentences together and doing just fine.
Okay. Now we're going to get back to my original question, Mr. Brakefield, and that is, why did you not notify Miss Blake that you planned not to return Cody to her care?
Because before my first wife lost her parental rights, we had actually agreed to physical custody sharing. I informed Miss Blake of that, and she got very angry with me and started yelling at me that I was sending my son off to die, and so I figured, not wanting to go through that again and not knowing what her reaction this time would be, I figured a written letter would be the best route to go.
But you took him on July 25th, according to you, and you didn't write this letter, according to the date on the letter, until August 13th. So between July 25th and August 13th, what communication did you have with her?
I had none.
Well, that's wrong,
Except
sir.
when I told her I was going to go to Las Vegas to visit my father, which instead I went to another location, and my father started receiving phone calls from her demanding to know where I was, and my sister said she didn't know, and she was told by Miss Blake that she didn't care about me, she didn't care about Cody.
Don't listen to me. That's all hearsay. I'm asking you what you did.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You had bad judgment when you picked wife numero uno. I hope that you had better judgment when you picked numero due. I'm not so sure.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Marvin Brakefield and his wife Jennifer Jesse claim child care provider Carolyn Blake falsely accused him of kidnapping his son.
Mr. Brakefield, you're coming to court today, a man who, because of circumstances, finds himself in a position of having to care for an infant full-time and have a job. You did it with the help of Miss Blake for almost 2 years.
Right.
Then you meet this lady, and I gather from your complaint and from her answer that these two ladies did not get along.
At first they did when I first brought her over to her
Right
house.
now, it may be the first minute. After that, they did not get along. And within a month of the two of you deciding to make a life together, you remove Cody from Miss Blake's custody and don't tell her that you're not coming back. And expect her, listen to me, sir, and expect her to just say, well, I guess he decided to take the boy himself. There you go. And forget about it. And some 3.5 weeks later, sent her a letter outlining why you took him from her custody. I don't think that's right. So
I wasn't sure what her reaction would be, and I didn't want to risk
all you have to
being
do is
screamed
send her a
at and yelled at.
telegram. I decided to terminate your responsibilities with regard to Cody. I will not be bringing him back. After I return from vacation, I have found another daycare provider, period.
I don't think it would have made a difference in her reaction.
Well, you don't know, but at least you would have done the right thing.
I have several harassing phone calls on my cell phone. She threatened to sue for custody of my son. The time she threatened to call CPS. She called my command on several occasions. There are times that she on several of the phone calls says, I am Cody's mother, and even has a message directly to Cody saying, this is mommy, this is your mother. It's just anybody who's ever read this or heard the messages thinks we did the right thing by getting him out of her care.
Listen to me. I don't necessarily think you did the wrong thing by deciding to resume full-time physical custody of your child. You now had a fiancé who was going to be living with you, so you were in a better position to take care of him. I don't fault you, sir, for removing Cody and deciding to take him back in your full-time charge. I fault you for the method in which you did it. You did it in a heartless fashion. Very heartless. Not only heartless for her, but heartless for your son. He's a 2-year-old child. And the only maternal figure that he's known in 2 years is her. So whether you decide to take him back full-time, you sit down, you have a conversation. And you say, listen, you may like it, you may not like it, but I'm getting married, and I am going to take Cody back. We're going to make a family, the three of us, but I'd like to be able to do this in an orderly fashion. I'd like to be able to bring him to you 3 days a week, and then bring him 2 days a week, and then down to 1 day a week, and you can always visit him so that the transition for my son would be easier. Do you understand what I'm saying to you, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
If she rejected that, you've at least done the right thing. But you can't do the wrong thing and then come to court and expect me to feel sorry for you because after you did the wrong thing, she called Child Protective Services. What you did was wrong. What you did was abusive to a child who has the only other parent that they know, the one that they're with most of the time, because when you pick him up after work, then he goes to sleep. And that's those days that you're not picking him up because you're going to the gym and taking care of other personal business. Right, according to you.
It's part of my job. It's mandatory. It's a mandatory military regulation that you work out 3 days a week.
Great! What does your 2-year-old son have to do with that? All he knows is the only person that's taking care of him is her. Yep. And what you did was precipitously and without any thought to how it was going to impact on him, you removed him from the only family that he knew without a transition. And that, as far as I'm concerned, was abusive. And that, as far as I'm concerned, deserves a call to Child Protective Services and say, what kind of person has this kind of judgment? I'm afraid for the kind of judgment that he is exercising with regard to this 2-year-old. You got my drift? I've raised some children. And I have grandchildren, and you're supposed to take the position as a parent that you're supposed to do what's best for them, the children, all the time. Now, what's best for your girlfriend, but what's best for the child. Right. Not even for what's best for her. Right. She's not the issue. You're grown-ups. He's not a grown-up. He's a baby. And you and your first wife put him in a position. You had bad judgment when you picked wife numero uno. I hope that you had better judgment when you picked numero due. I'm not so sure. But you and your first wife, it was your bad judgment picking somebody who wasn't ready to have a family. It was second poor judgment that you had a baby with somebody that wasn't ready to have a family. You find a caregiver who was given your child, who's kept him safe, fed, clean, because you didn't remove him from her custody for 2 years, so evidently her care could not have been that inadequate, sir. And then when you decide to do it, you do it in a fashion that is not designed to ease the transition. As far as I'm concerned, that's neglectful and very bad judgment. So, did you call Child Protective Services?
Yes, you better believe I did.
Good for you. Your case is dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He disappeared from his apartment.
That's case number 362 on the calendar in the matter of Gaviola versus Turner. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Have a seat.
Ms. Gaviola, the defendant was a friend of yours?
Yes.
And the two of you decided to go on a road trip for something, for business? Was it?
We were invited to a music festival in Hollywood.
And where were you coming from?
Sacramento.
You rented a car, and when you got to Hollywood, you loaned the defendant the car.
Correct.
It is your claim that she wrecked the car, and you are being held responsible by the rental car company.
Mm-hmm.
Ms. Turner says she did not wreck the car. She was using the car was stolen, and somebody else wrecked it. So it's not her responsibility. That's your defense.
Yes.
You hesitated. That's what I read. Is that wrong?
No.
Okay. When were you going to the festival?
It was Friday, July 9th. I left from Sacramento around 7.
When did you rent the car?
5:30 that afternoon.
From whom?
Enterprise.
And when you arrived in Hollywood, what did you do with the car?
I lent the car to Rhonda.
Okay. You got the car on the 9th of July?
Yes, Your Honor.
What happened?
Actually, what happened was we drove from Sacramento
Look
to
at me, not the floor.
We drove from Sacramento to Los Angeles, and we
Who did the driving?
The plaintiff.
Go ahead.
And we arrived in Los Angeles, and we went to her boyfriend's house. And from that point, I had taken the car and went home. And we were to meet up the next day.
Went home to where?
To my mom's house, actually, in Los Angeles.
Don't make things up as you're going along, because I'm going to come back to everything that you tell me.
Okay.
And, you know, the only reason you have to have a good memory is if you tell lies. If you tell the truth, you don't need a really good memory, because you can tell the same story over and over again, and it's the truth. Do you understand, Ms. Turner?
Yes, I do.
All right. So you dropped her off, you took the car, you went to your mother's house. Is that the last time you saw the car?
No.
When did you use the car again?
The next day when it was time to go to the so-called festival.
Did you go to the festival together?
No, we met there.
And you were driving the car?
Yes.
When you left, did you drive by yourself?
Yes.
Where did you go?
To a family barbecue.
Where?
In Inglewood, California.
And did you drive back to your mother's house?
No, not at that point.
When did you drive back?
I didn't drive back to my mom's house from that point. We were at the barbecue, and that's where the car was stolen from.
When did you find out the car was stolen?
Sometime during the day when I got ready to go, went outside and the car was not there.
What time?
Between 7 and 8.
May I see the police report, please, where you called the police and told them that the car was stolen?
I didn't make a police report.
Why not?
Well, I figured the car wasn't in my name, and I figured I needed to get in touch with the plaintiff so the plaintiff could make the appropriate report on the car.
When did you call her?
I called her that same night.
What time?
Somewhere between 8 and 9.
Is that right?
We received a voicemail message on Jimmy's phone around maybe 10.
Who got the message?
He originally received the message.
Jimmy, what's your last name?
Placencia.
You received the message. What did the message say?
The first message I received from Rhonda was that she left a message saying she had wrecked the car. The car was in an accident.
That's not true.
Shh. That's the first message.
Correct.
And the second message?
We had communicated several times during that evening. I called her back and she left a voicemail. And
did you speak to her when you called back?
Yes, I did.
What did you say to her and what did she say to you?
I asked her about the vehicle and what had happened, and She had told me that she had gotten into a car accident, and I asked her about the accident. She said that she had hit somebody, and I asked her, did she exchange information, and there was no information exchanged.
And then the story changed?
And then the story had changed, and then she had tried to talk me or talk us into reporting the car that Lisa was originally the driver. She did not want to take responsibility for the accident. And when I started explaining to her that that would not be appropriate, then her story changed. She didn't want to talk, and we hung up, and then we tried to reach her again, and were not able to get in touch with her.
That isn't true. I called them several times during the night. They did not return my phone calls.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
I read your answer very carefully, and you say that the car was stolen. My friends and family searched the neighborhood for the car, and finally a friend called and said that they had found the car, but it was wrecked. Where's the friend?
They're not here.
What's the friend's name?
Adrian.
So Adrian found the car wrecked, came back and told you that. Is that what you're telling me?
Adrian didn't find the car herself. Her boyfriend found the car.
Yes.
I got the call initially from her stating what had happened. That was the next day.
So it's different from what you wrote in your answer?
No. My answer says that we looked for the car after we found out the car was stolen.
No, you finally a friend called and said they had found the car and it was wrecked.
That was the next day.
All right. How much is Enterprise charging you for the car?
$3,780.96.
You have a contract with Enterprise?
Yes.
Can I see it, please? Okay. Now, you went into a contract with these people in which you guaranteed to them that there would be no other driver driving this car.
Yes.
You had no right to give her the car to drive.
Yes.
You understand that?
Yes, I do.
Because if you had put down her name, which you could do, and her driver's license, they would have said, now you're covered if you accepted insurance. Do you understand?
Yes.
That's why you're being charged this $3,780.
Yes.
So, I have to find some sort of a reasonable balance between your wrongdoing and her wrongdoing, because I find, madam, that your story is a crock of baloney. Now, you damaged the car and you try to get out of it. And even if the car wasn't cared for properly while it was in your possession, you have to accept responsibility for that. You have to accept responsibility. You're not supposed to slough off responsibility. Neither are you. You did the wrong thing. But for the fact that you did the wrong thing, she wouldn't have been in a position to wreck your car that you are now being held responsible for. Do you have a car at home?
Do I have a car? Yes.
Do you have insurance?
Yes.
Well, if you had insurance, the insurance would cover this if you were permitted to drive the car. Do you know that?
Yes. When she rented the car, she called me and said, do I need to get insurance on the car? And I said, yes, it would be the appropriate thing to do.
Your Honor, she had assured me at the time when I had given her keys that she would be extremely careful and that she would be responsible for any damages to the car because she had full coverage insurance.
I don't believe she said that to you. I don't believe she said that to you at all. In any event, I think you're each responsible for half of the damage to this car and half of what you're being charged for. 50%. 50% for doing the wrong thing, 50% for having an accident and not coming clean. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of half, $1,890. That's all. The rest you're responsible for.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I'm glad that both of us were able to take responsibility of the car.
I'm not going to say that I was liable for the car because I didn't wreck the car.
I'm really just glad that it's over.
I think it was a fair decision.
It's been very challenging.
We got insurance for the car. Had she told the story the way it should have went, she would have been covered.
Really don't want to speak anymore.
If you're going to be honest all the way.
We're no longer friends.
Don't tell half truth.
I think it's about being selective of the people that are in your life.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter, Troy versus Shaw. Step forward, please.
Retail salesperson Patricia Troy is suing her ex-boyfriend, retail assistant manager Charles Shaw Jr., for the return of money meant to secure an apartment. Patricia says Charles lied about wanting to live with her.
Ms. Troy, the defendant is your former boyfriend, and according to your complaint, you gave him some money in order to save up some money to put down on an apartment for the two of you to share together. After you gave him the money, he decided he no longer wanted to be a couple, and you want your money back.
Yes, ma'am.
That's what the case was about.
Yes.
Mr. Shaw acknowledges that you gave him money, right?
Yeah.
But Mr. Shaw says that the money was a gift. You had given him money in the past. It had absolutely nothing to do with an apartment, and there was never an expectation that he would return that money to you should the relationship go south. So, how long have you known him?
Since September of 2002.
And I gather from your complaint that there was a time, Mr. Shaw, that you were incarcerated. Is that right?
Yes.
When was that?
From March of 2003 until April of 2004.
What were you incarcerated for?
A breaking and entering charge and,
Burglary?
yeah,
I can understand burglary.
and
Was this the first
anger
time you
control
were...
management.
What?
I didn't go to anger control management.
Burglary and anger control management. So this emanated from a domestic violence situation?
Yeah, so basically it was just anger control management. That's the charge. I got violated.
Why didn't you go to anger control management?
I did go. I missed the last class, so I got violated.
And who was it that was the target of your anger?
A former ex-girlfriend.
You have a child with this ex-girlfriend?
No.
Did you learn your lesson?
Yeah.
Did you finish anger control management?
Yeah.
Did you finish it in prison?
Yeah.
See how they get you to do it? One way or another, you're going to go to that last class. Now, Miss Troy met you in September of 2002, so she enjoyed your company for several months, and then you went to jail. And I assume that Miss Troy stood by you when you were in jail. Is that right?
She came in on the tail end part.
On the tail end part of jail?
Yeah. She was writing at the beginning, then she stopped writing. Then around November of 2003, she started coming around.
You mean she started to come to visit you?
Yeah.
Because you couldn't go visit her. So she was visiting you.
Yeah.
How far a trip was it that she had to make to come to visit you?
Not far.
Give me an idea. What's not far?
Probably a mile.
1 mile. The jail was 1 mile from where she lived?
I assume it was.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I said, you're waiting for my son to get home. There's no guarantee he's going to even still want to be with you. This is about my son no longer wanted to be with her.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Patricia Troy says her ex-boyfriend Charles Shaw Jr. owes for the return of money she gave him to secure an apartment. Charles says the money was a gift.
Now, where was the jail? What jail were you in?
Richmond City.
Richmond City? Was that a county jail?
City.
And you live in Richmond?
Yes, ma'am.
So it's not such a far distance for you to come to visit?
It's not that far.
When you came to visit him, did you bring him money?
On occasions.
Is that right?
Yeah.
How much money did she bring you?
These are just some of the money slips that she did give me.
Can I see it, please? Who is this, by the way?
Oh, that's my father.
$20 on March 13th, $30 on March 27th, $30 on April 12th, $50 on January 22nd.
All that money she didn't bring me. My father, right? My father gave her the money to bring to me.
Why didn't he come to bring it to you?
Because my father owns a furniture store, and she was working for him at the time. So during that time, he was at work. When she came to visit, she just brought the money down.
But it was not always his money, Your Honor.
Sometimes it was
that money
yours.
came out my pocket, and I also have some receipts.
Those are the same receipts.
Okay, I have receipts.
Different
Okay.
dates.
So sometimes his father gave you money to bring him, sometimes you brought the money yourself. Now,
Exactly.
tell me about the money that you claim you gave him for the apartment, Miss Troy.
Okay.
He got out of jail.
Yeah, he came home in May.
Look at me when you're talking.
He came home. We were still dating, supposedly. It came to a point where he went out of town. Supposedly went to New York or whatever. We talked about our apartment. We had conversations about the apartment. I also have the letters where the conversation started when he was incarcerated. So when he came home, we talked furthermore about it, and we agreed that I would give him some money to save for the apartment. On the first occasion, I gave him $180 in cash. On the second occasion, he came to my home and picked up $200 in cash.
Well, what did he say when he picked up the $200 in cash?
I mean, he really didn't say anything. He just said he was going to put the money away. Okay, then he told me he found an apartment. He was approved for it. He told me he needed my information so he could put my name on the lease. Okay, we were supposed to move in the apartment August the 6th.
The week before we were supposed to move in the apartment, that's when everything was broke off. I asked Mr. Shaw, would I be able to get my money back? He told me he was going to give me my money back. We made a verbal agreement that he would drop the money off at my mother's house. He never did. We bickered and argued for a day over the phone about the money, about this. I even contacted his probation officer to try to solve this. But, you know, nothing happened, so I felt like I had to sue him for it.
Well, you talked about getting this apartment, sir, for a long time while you were in jail.
I was thinking about getting an apartment, but when I came home, she didn't have herself together. First of all, she stopped working. My father had to let her go due to circumstances at the store. Then, in my eyes, she wasn't stable.
And why'd you take this $380 from her?
I mean, if somebody give you some money, you go, she asked me a couple of times, do you need any money? I'm like, I need some money. And then she asked me, do I need any shoes, anything? She was like, I buy them from you.
That is...
Shh. You want to say something?
Yes, Your Honor, I do. This goes back a little bit more than what's going on. Back in January, the job at the store was actually my son's job. I was holding it for him until he came back from jail. But he called me back in January. He said, Dad, Patricia and I, we're having a little problems. She's having problems staying where she lives now with the people. She has a lot of issues going on, and she can no longer stay there. So could you let her work my job that you have for me at the store so she can find an apartment for her and her 2 kids to stay? So I said, I really don't want to right now, but I'll do it for you. So she came to the store. This was in January, February, March, April. I tell Miss Troy, when are you going to get an apartment for you and your kids? She's making the money. She never does it. I said, you're waiting for my son to get home. He's going to change. A lot is going to change about him. There's no guarantee he's going to even still want to be with you. You must worry about you and your 2 children.
Good advice.
So she had the money, plus she even got an income tax return. She did all that. She had plenty of money to get the apartment for her and the kids. This is about my son no longer wanted to be with her.
That doesn't answer my question,
Yes.
sir. You know what my question is? Yes. He acknowledges he took the $380 from her. His response to me when I said, why, he said to me, someone give you money, you take it, right?
And I asked him
the answer is, not if I wasn't interested.
No, she didn't give me $380 at, like that story she's saying about that 180 and that 200, that's not true.
Well, how much did she give you, sir?
She gave me probably like $50 one time, $70 one time. maybe
Your
$90.
Honor.
I mean, she gave me money numerous of times. I figured they were gifts.
Do you understand, Mr. Shaw? Do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand you very well.
Okay. And so what I'm talking about your son's character.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not talking about her stupidity. Yes. I'm talking about his character.
Excuse me,
if
ma'am.
I'm speaking. If she's got 2 children that she has to take care of, and she is not a wealthy person because she's working at a temporary job, she's got 2 kids that she's got to deal with, and I know she doesn't have a lot of money. Your son, who evidently said to you, according to you, would you give Patricia my job so that she can save up a little money?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
What kind of character does he have to take money from her?
And I also told him about that.
Yeah. I'm asking you, you're his father. Do you think that that demonstrates a person of good character?
No, it doesn't.
Perfect.
Yes.
Sit down.
Thank you.
Like it. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $380. That's all. Step out. Thank you.
Parties are excused. Orovec, parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Have a seat, sir.
Mr. Orovec, the defendant is your former wife.
Yes, ma'am.
How long were you married?
Almost 7 years.
And you have 2 children.
Yes, we do.
Recently divorced, and you, after a custody trial, you obtained custody of the 2 children. How old are they?
5 and 7 years, ma'am.
Your lawsuit claims, Mr. Orovec, that your wife has embarked upon a campaign to file allegations alleging domestic violence, alleging abuse of the children, etc., causing you to spend a substantial amount of money for attorneys. All of those allegations were ultimately dismissed, proven unfounded, and you want your former wife to compensate you.
Yes, ma'am.
Mrs. Orovec says that everything she said was true, and she is a good mother, and she has an absolute responsibility to report any instances of abuse of her children and abuse of herself. I gather from your complaint that this situation is exacerbated by the fact that your former wife is now either living with or engaged to be married to your brother. That's you. Is that right?
Yes.
Are you twins?
No.
No. How far apart are you?
2
in
years.
age? And I assume you don't speak.
No.
For how long?
Since the affair was found in my house.
And when was that?
Back in February last year.
And when were you divorced?
The divorce was entered in June 2nd, 2003.
And when were you ultimately awarded custody of the children?
Custody was done June 23rd. It was filed of 2004.
Between June of 2003 and June of 2004, with whom were the children living?
They were living with her primary.
There was a custody trial?
No, ma'am. There was a settlement.
And what did you agree to in the settlement, Ms. Orovec?
I agreed to maintain joint custody with David, as well as switching primary residency over to him on information that the law guardian had given me, stating that he was not allowed to make any changes regarding the children without first clarifying it with me.
Don't qualify what you're saying to me. You agreed that the children's primary custodian would be their father.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Can I say something? The reason that we went to court is because there's 8 circumstances which warrant a change of custody of emotional abuse towards the children, and we agreed upon this because she agreed upon it because she didn't want to go to trial.
I assume, Mr. Orovec, that the recommendation of the children's attorney
Yes.
was that the children be in your primary physical
Yes, they were,
custody.
Your Honor.
And that would have been dispositive in all probability at a hearing. Otherwise, was there any other reason that you gave up physical custody of the children?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because you had had physical custody of the children for a year.
I was too afraid of the punishment I might get if I hadn't given up custody of them.
That, madam, is baloney.
You may think so, ma'am, but it's not.
Baloney. Okay. Let's get to the first allegation, sir, that caused you to retain an attorney.
That was back in June 18th. She filed a violation.
You have to give me a year.
June 18, 2003. Sorry, ma'am. She filed with CPS, and then she filed the order of protection.
Okay. Do you have those reports?
Yes, I have everything. Here's the order of protection, dismissed and everything, and here's the unfounded reports from CPS.
Can I see?
Here's the amended temporary order of protection I had too also.
Just a second. You said it was in June of 2003. I have a letter here dated September of 2003, which indicates from Child Protective Services that you are the subject of a report of suspected child abuse, and I assume that it was you who made that report.
No, ma'am.
Who was it?
It was the children's pediatrician.
When did you take the children to the pediatrician and why?
I took the children to the pediatrician on June 16th of 2003 because they had come home from a weekend with their father covered in mosquito bites, my daughter particularly, and several bruises, one of which was so large on her leg that it looked like the size of the fist, and that's what the doctor had recorded.
Mosquito bites?
22 to be exact.
Oh, okay.
As well as sunburn to the point where their skin was peeling.
Now this is interesting. Just a second. September 11th, 2003 is when they notify you that there was a report. But then I have a letter dated August 30th, 2003, which indicates that they've done an investigation and they find that there is no credible evidence was found that the children were abused or maltreated, and therefore the report has been determined unfounded. How many reports were filed?
2 altogether. One was done back in February. Before that.
Well, that's what I want to know. There was
Yeah,
one
I
in
may have had the
February.
paperwork. Sorry.
Because you can't have an unfounded letter that's dated before the report. So there was a prior report in February. Who filed the prior report?
That was done through CPS automatically because we were both arrested at our household for a domestic. She was charged with 3 charges, and I was charged with protecting myself.
What's next?
Well, since then, Your Honor, she's engaged in another filing false petitions against me now ever since I've been awarded custody of the children. And she has done nothing but in that last year harassed me by going to child support and saying I'm not paying child support, which I have court documents saying that I was not willfully trying to disobey a court order.
What was the child support order?
First it was $90 a week, then I agreed to pay $100, and then I agreed to pay $150, and then because we kept going back and forth to court, she wouldn't stop filing. So they said it was not willful, and then child support, and then I was...
Just a minute. When there were orders in effect for $90, $100, and $150 a week, did you make regular payments pursuant to those orders?
I was. I constantly keep paying.
It's not true, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
He says he wasn't in willful violation of the support order because he told the court that he didn't have a job. He owns his own business.
Just a second. Did you ever tell the court that you couldn't pay this order because
No, I did
you
not,
were
ma'am.
not working?
No, I did not.
Transcripts.
That was never an issue, like not paying child support.
He said he wasn't working at the time. He even had his father in court to verify that he wasn't working.
That sounds like a hard story for her to make up, sir. Listen to me.
I'm listening.
He also...
Very easy to verify. Did you ever have your father in court and testify in court that you were either unemployed or didn't receive any income? Did you or did you not? The answer is either yes or no. It's very easy for me to pick up a phone and find out.
No.
Okay, go ahead.
He, at that time, had obtained a new boat, a new camper, various new home improvements to his house. And the judge asked him, where did these belongings come from? He claimed that they were his brothers, his little brothers, that he wasn't
Somebody
working.
else's. So he was playing around with child support.
Right, that he wasn't working, and he was $2,300 in arrears at that point. At this point...
Do you have any documentation?
I didn't bring it. I didn't think it'd be brought up here.
At the time that you took him to court, he
Right,
was $2,300 in arrears. I believe her.
He is currently $700 in arrears.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I have no idea why you gave him up in the first place.
Because I was stupid. Very, very stupid and scared.
If you were very, very stupid, you can't inflict your stupidity on the children.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. David Oravec says his ex-wife, Maria Oravec, owes for legal fees and harassment. David claims Maria has been filing false reports with Child Protective Services.
Now, how much do you pay?
We don't pay any.
How much? Listen to me. How much do you pay in child? Not we. How much do you pay in child support?
Neither one of us pay child support to each other.
You don't. He doesn't have to pay child support to you. He is the primary physical custodian of the children. You're supposed to pay child support to him.
He's never requested it.
Oh, Mrs. Oravec, he doesn't have to request it. You're supposed to pay it. You're supposed to give him money because he's taking care of the children. So stop complaining and fetching to me that he's $700 behind in child support. Do you work?
No, ma'am.
Get a job!
I have a job. I have 2 children.
You are not the children's primary physical caretaker.
But
Get
they're
a
with
job
me
and
daily.
support them. That's your job. So stop fetching to me that he's behind in child support. You have as much of an obligation to pay for the children when they're in his custody as he had to pay for the children when they were in your custody.
He didn't pay when they were in my custody.
And you don't pay a dime when they're in his custody.
I purchase everything for them outright.
I've heard that. Listen to me. You know how many times I've heard that from fathers who weren't primary physical custodians? I buy diapers, and I buy milk, and I buy things for them, and I take them to the movies. That's not support. Get a job and support them. Now, when was the next order of protection that was filed, sir?
Oh, there was no more after that.
So what are you complaining about?
Because she constantly keeps bringing me back and forth to court. Now, even after I was awarded custody of the children, she filed another petition against me to try and get modification of the custody of the children again.
Let me see it.
I mean, it's a nonstop battle of
Let me see
harassment
it.
and attorney fees that I got to keep paying.
Well, what is this?
So now here's another petition.
Yes,
Like
what?
I said, with that last false petition or filed, there was a court order ordering us that we cannot go to the court for relief for 18 months unless we've attended Catholic charities. We did not attend Catholic charities, so she filed that petition in order. That was dismissed because of that.
Oh, so this was dismissed?
Yes, it was because she went against a court order.
Your
and
Honor,
they
he
told
keeps
her.
dodging Catholic Charities mediation program. He refuses to schedule. He refuses to pin down a date. He refuses to pay the $30 that it costs to go through mediation. He won't pin anything down just so he can avoid losing the kids. He knows he stands a substantial chance of losing these children now.
I have no idea why you gave them up in the first place.
Because I was stupid. Very, very stupid and scared.
Well, then, you know, if you were very, very stupid, you can't... Put your hand down.
Oh, sorry.
If you were very, very stupid, you can't inflict your stupidity on the children. Right
No,
now,
I
the
can't.
children are living with their father. And
They're living with both of us, ma'am. They go back and forth each week.
You mean 1 week they live with you and 1 week they live with him?
A 5- and 7-year-old have to get carted around every other week. It's not good for them.
That's what you agreed to. Listen, if that's what you agreed to, and if you don't believe it's good for them, then they should stay with their father.
He's not good for them, ma'am.
Listen, if you're their mother, and you voluntarily settled this matter, and I'm not going into it because to me, you had custody for a year. there was something that happened that convinced you that it would not be in your best interest to proceed to a trial in this case, a trial that you would clearly lose, because otherwise, unless you suffered a substantial breakdown mentally, you would not concede custody to the father who did not have custody. So there was something that you did or something that the court could have determined, and I'm not sure what it was.
I have it.
Well, you have a report?
Yes, I do. I have the
Can
report
see it?
right here.
He alleges abuse, Your Honor, but they're just
Let me see it.
allegations, and it's
This one right here.
nonsense.
The mother has engaged in a course of conduct designed to alienate the children from their father, and it goes on to list 6 instances where she has done that. The family court judge, in modifying the order of custody, clearly found that there was a change in circumstances sufficient to change the judgment of divorce and to modify the judgment of divorce, and ordered as follows. On consent of the parties, the mother and father shall continue joint custody of the minor children, with the children to reside with the father. That's what you consented to. And the judge found that there was a basis for that. Listen to me. You haven't established, to my satisfaction, anything as egregious as to require me to direct her to pay you for filing false charges against you. But I do suggest, sir, that you have the right to seek financial support from your former wife. She has an obligation to support these children just as you did when they were living with her. And I suggest that if you want to pursue that, you should go to Catholic Charities, proceed with whatever mediation there is in Catholic Charities, and then file a petition seeking child support, unless you are an independently wealthy person. Are you?
No, I'm not, ma'am.
Good.
According
Then
to
do it.
him,
That's
he
all.
is.
Out.
Thank you, ma'am.
Where's her $12,000?
A very brilliant woman. I'm just glad that she sees the truth like everybody else has.
Once again, David has convinced someone that he's Mr. Charming, and he's not.
She's pregnant with a child that's not even his now. And my concern is how she can bring another child into this world when she can't even take care of the 2 children she has right now.
That's why Daniel and I are involved. He got me out of an abusive relationship. He saw his brother beating me up. His own brother can't stand him.
Well, they're sick. There's nothing else to say.
We're going to have a nice little family once we can get someone else out of our lives and have him move on.
You know, the devil works in mysterious ways. Unfortunately, it's influenced them. Nothing I can do about it.
No, I just figure it this way. I married a boob and ended up with the prize.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Stewart versus Stubbs. Step forward.
Parts manager Randy Stewart is suing 28-year-old travel coordinator Sonia Stubbs for damage to his home caused by a golf ball. Sonia says Randy was taking a chance by owning a home on a golf course.
Mr. Stewart, you own a home that's situated on a golf course. Is that right?
That's right.
Where is that, sir?
North Carolina.
Is it a nice golf course?
It's an average golf course.
And is it a nice house?
It's an average house.
And Mrs. Stubbs was playing golf on the golf course.
Yes, ma'am.
And she was playing a very average game.
Yes, ma'am.
On the average course, where your average house overlooks what fairway?
17.
And Miss Stubbs took a shot, and the golf ball hit your house.
Correct.
You claim causing some damage to the house.
Yes.
And Miss Stubbs says, when you buy a house situated on a golf course, you have to expect that every once in a while your house is going to get hit with a golf ball. Sort of like you assume the risk when you buy a house on a golf course that golf balls don't always hit their mark, and it's possible that your house is going to be damaged. That's your defense.
Yes, ma'am.
I just like to go through the simplistic part of the case, because it seemed to me from reading the complaint and the answer that there wasn't much of a dispute with regard to certain facts. She hit the ball, she heard it hit something, you found the siding damaged.
Correct. Immediately after the ball hit the house.
Okay. Now, when I read this, Miss Stubbs, I was trying to think of an analogy for you.
Okay.
Let's say you purchase a house near an airport. You know those planes come in and out, and some big planes and some little planes. Right? And lo and behold, one day you come home and you find that this nice little 3-bedroom ranch that you left in the morning when you went to work is no longer there. Because right smack in the middle of the living room is a little twin-engine plane that missed its mark. And you say, well, I'm going to sue the owner of that plane. He walked away scot-free. I have no house. The owner of the plane says to you, listen, You buy a house near an airport. Planes come in and out. And you have to expect every once in a while there's going to be an accident, because not every plane's going to hit its mark. May not happen all the time. A couple of times a year. Once every 2 years. And when it does, you have assumed the risk. So, Miss Stubbs, when you buy a house on a golf course, what you're doing is saying, I like to play golf, I like to look at golf. People who play golf, who are good golfers, usually hit their mark. Their mark is not the side of my house. The mark is either the green, the fairway, the rough, whatever, but it's not the side of my house. So just like the twin-engine prop that hit the middle of somebody's living room, of your living room, the owner of that plane would be responsible for the damage to your house. You are responsible for the damage to Mr. Stewart's house in the amount of $385, which is your estimate. Judgment for the plaintiff. That's all. Step back.
Mr. Spruill, parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have a seat, please.
Mr. Davis, the defendant is your former wife's cousin.
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
And you made the mistake of selling him a used truck. We don't do that with family. It's really pretty stupid, because it's always trouble. You claim that you sold him the truck, I believe, for $3,500. He paid you $2,500. He was supposed to pay you the rest, and he didn't.
No, he did not.
So when you started to call him and wanted your money, he filed false charges against you, according to you, of telephone harassment, and you were arrested and had expenses. So you are suing him for two things. First, the balance owed on the truck, plus interest, because you agreed, according to you, to $200 in interest on the additional $1,000 that he owed, and the money that you spent and your aggravation as a result of these false harassment charges. Now, Mr. Spruill says that you were angry with him after you sold him your truck because he introduced your now ex-wife to her current present husband. And you got very angry with him, and then you told him you wanted more money for the truck, and you started to call him on the phone, and he filed these charges against you because they were true.
Correct.
When did you sell him the truck?
March of 2004, right around this time last year.
You have a bill of sale?
No, I do not, Your Honor.
Why not?
Considering the fact that it was based on family word, we took it upon that and did the lousy mistake of not having one wrote up.
All right. March of 2004, he took possession of the truck?
Yes, ma'am.
And did he have the title to the truck?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, when for the first time did you call him and ask him for more money?
Approximately 1 month after I was having issues with my ex-wife.
Why don't you answer my question, Mr. Davis? When did you call him and tell him you wanted more money?
Approximately a month after I sold him the truck.
So in April. And what did you say to him when you called him in April?
I told him I needed the money. I did not appreciate what was going on between him and his litigations of owing me the money.
Well, according to you, when was he supposed to pay you the rest of the money?
Tax time this year when he received his refund.
So he had another year?
Yes, Your Honor.
So when you called him a month after he took possession of the truck, even according to you, that was not your contract?
No, it was not.
So you called him and you were angry?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what did you say to him when you called him?
This is on the 9th of July. I left him a message of how I thought of him through the whole allegation of everything.
Well, what did you say?
I told him I needed the money. I did not appreciate what he has done, trying to mediate between me and my ex-wife.
Mr. Davis is having some difficulty coming up with exactly what the message was. Mr. Spruill, you want to tell me what he said?
He said he would break my kneecap with a tire iron. That's a lie. I told him I would meet him halfway.
Told him to meet him halfway for what?
From all the threats that I have received from him, Mr. Spruill himself.
What threats did you receive from him?
I received threats from him of signing over my parental rights to my son, to his wife's cousin, and to never see him again.
Well, what do you mean threats? I don't hear a threat. You want to tell me what the threat was?
I'm not seeing my son ever again. I'm never paying the amount owed against the pickup.
Who is this?
This is my mother.
You're making it up as you're going along, Mr. Davis.
No, ma'am, I am not.
Yeah, you are. Now, when you said to him, according to you, I'll meet you halfway, I don't know what that means.
I was upset during that day because I missed a court date with my ex-wife.
You missed a court date?
I was not notified properly. I moved away from my address. The court sent the papers to that address. I was not there, and I was not informed of the court date.
Did you have an attorney?
No, I did not.
What was the court date for, Mr. Davis?
Child support.
Did they enter a support order?
Yes, they did, Your Honor.
For how much?
$255 a month The actual court order is $225 for my son. Rearages of $1,742.
Okay, so you have an order that you didn't pay.
Yes, I did.
Well, $225 a month is not an unusually high support order. Mr. Davis, why were you upset?
I had a previous relationship, and I'm paying an enormous amount of money for my daughter.
Well, what are you mad at your ex-wife for? She's not getting an enormous amount of money. She's getting $50 a week. What were you annoyed at them for? You were just generally annoyed.
Generally annoyed to the fact that what has happened, Mr. Scraville was trying to mediate between us as I try to reconcile and get back with my ex-wife.
She didn't want to get back with you.
No, she did not.
Got to be a reason.
There was a reason.
So after he told you he was going to break your kneecaps with a tire iron, you called the police?
Correct.
You have a police report?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see it, please. Mr. Davis, you have 2 children?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, according to the police report, your former wife says that you were upset with the defendant because you hold him responsible for breaking up the marriage. However, in all fairness, your ex-wife did say that she didn't think that you would carry out those threats.
I would not. I admit I was...
Shh, just a second. Well, you admitted to the police, Mr. Davis, that you told the defendant that you'd break his other leg if he didn't pay you. And you also said that you knew that you shouldn't have threatened him and that you had no intention of carrying out the threat. So you admitted to the police that you threatened bodily harm to the defendant. So you cannot sue him for filing false charges against you. He doesn't have to interpret whether or not you meant it or not, or whether you had a bad day. You have to keep your temper.
Understood, Your Honor.
Good. So that part of your complaint is dismissed. Now let's get to the truck. I read your answer very carefully. Your answer says that you gave Mr. Davis another $1,000.
Yes.
When?
I sent him another $1,000 on 1/22 of 05.
Can I see the check, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Why did you send him the check?
Because he threatened to bring my father-in-law into the lawsuit with this letter that he sent to my father-in-law.
I'd like to see it.
And I just wanted to keep the peace.
Why didn't you take his check, sir?
That was not agreed upon. $1,200 was agreed upon by this time.
No, sir. That wasn't your agreement, Mr. Davis. Your agreement, according to you, was that he would give you the other $1,000 plus $200 interest by tax time 2005. That's what you told me. He was paying you early. Isn't that what you told me? You want to say something? For what?
Because I'm the reason that he sent the check back, because I thought it was wrong. He should have been $1,200.
Why don't you just keep it zipped?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Your son has a little bit of a temper and he's going through a very difficult time. And what you're not supposed to do is exacerbate it if you're his mother. And if you're the reason that he sent back this $1,000 check, you're not a very smart mother.
And later today,
I reached into the purse to find the pawn ticket. Instead, I came out with a Ziploc bag full of little dime bags of marijuana.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Rodney Davis says former friend Rick Spruill owes for the balance on a truck and for having him falsely arrested.
You're supposed to be a peacemaker, not a troublemaker. Peacemaker, not a troublemaker. Your son has a little bit of a temper and he's going through a very difficult time. He made 2 babies. He's got to support them. It's very hard to take care of 3 families when you're one person. He felt as if everything was piling on him, and he went through a very bad period in his life. And what you're not supposed to do is exacerbate it if you're his mother. And if you're the reason that he sent back this $1,000 check because you thought it should have been $1,200, you're not a very smart mother.
Can I say something?
Sure.
Here.
Right.
I felt it was wrong that Rick got the truck for half of what it was worth. We went through a really hard year with all this telephone harassment. I know Rick and Rod's ex-wife called our house when he was staying there lots of times.
What does that have to do with sending back the check and being a troublemaker?
Okay, so if he gets the truck for half of what it's worth...
No. Your son made a deal. Your son made a contract. He's an adult. He's not 16 years old. He's a grown man who made 2 babies. Now, There's a piece of me that believes him, that he made an agreement to sell this truck for $3,500, and maybe he made the agreement to, if he wasn't paid up in 6 months, he was going to charge him an extra $200 in interest. In any event, the whole matter could have been resolved because he gave him a check for $1,000, and he gave him the check for $1,000 before the amount was due. He gave him the check in January, and he wasn't supposed to pay him until April. That's what your son just told me. So you're supposed to be a peacemaker, not a troublemaker. You're supposed to say, listen, take the check, put a period.
I should have.
Let's try to make peace. I have a grandchild that I want to be able to see. I have a baby that I don't want to lose. Instead of being a troublemaker. Now you get it? Good. Just do me a favor. Give him the check. He gets the check. I suggest, Mr. Davis, that you cash it.
Yes,
because
ma'am.
that's all you're getting.
Understood.
Perfect. Thank you very much. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
The most frustrating part about it is he lied and he got away with it.
I think he's upset about the family, the loss of his family.
I just hope issues can be resolved.
Let's hope this is the end of it.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Dwyer versus Dwyer. Step forward, please.
Program coordinator Yvonne Dwyer is suing her daughter, 24-year-old fast food worker Danielle Dwyer, for unpaid rent when Danielle lived with her. Yvonne says she kicked Danielle out when she found drugs in her purse.
Ms. Dwyer, the defendant is your daughter.
Yes, ma'am.
According to what I've read, you claim that your daughter owes you about $1,000 in rent for the 10 months that she lived with you, and she agreed to pay rent of $100 a month. She did not pay. Your daughter answers that she was arrested twice on your complaint. The first time was for check fraud or something.
Yes.
Your mother was the complainant in that case. When she got out of prison, she had restitution to pay. And the second time she was arrested was for the possession of, I think, marijuana in your home. You were, again, the complainant in that case. There was never an agreement to pay rent, according to her, and that's your defense.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me about this check fraud. When was it?
It was January of 2004, I believe.
You were writing out checks on your mother's account?
Yes, ma'am.
In what amount?
It varied. Small amounts, $50 maybe.
Were you living at home at the time?
Yes, I was.
Is that the period of time that she was supposed to be paying rent?
No, ma'am. And the period of time that she actually committed the check fraud was in 03. Pressed charges in March of 03 on that.
But she was not paying rent at that time. It
No,
was
ma'am,
when she
she was
came
not.
out of jail after she was convicted.
Actually, never. She spent a very short time in jail for that. She never served actual time for the fraud.
You took a plea in that case?
Yes, ma'am.
With restitution?
Yes, ma'am.
Restitution to be
considerable
paid to your mother?
Yes.
In what amount?
It was over $2,000.
Did you pay it?
No, I have not paid all of it.
Did you pay any of it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
How much?
I'm not really sure. It
How
was
much?
a matter of time. $25. It was more than that, ma'am.
100?
Possibly. It was very difficult for me to pay the money because I had a criminal charge and it was hard for me to find a good job.
You can always get a job. You may not be able to get certain jobs. They're not going to hire you in a bank, but you can certainly get a job. Do you work now?
Yes, ma'am.
Where do you work?
I work for a restaurant.
Fine. You can always get a job. I assume you let your daughter move back into the house after this check writing episode because you felt sorry for her?
Yes, and because I'm raising her daughter.
How old is she?
She's 8. We've adopted her, but she's still her mother.
Who else lives in the house?
My husband.
Okay. It's your claim that there was an agreement by your daughter to pay rent.
That's the only
$100 a month.
$100 a month, yes, ma'am.
She didn't pay restitution.
No.
So if she didn't pay restitution, what makes you think she's going to pay the rent? Ms. Dwyer.
I wanted to trust her. She's my daughter.
Now, according to you, there came a time when she was arrested a second time on your complaint. When was that?
That was in August of 04.
Tell me the circumstances surrounding that arrest.
She had come home from work or somewhere and was going to take my granddaughter out on an outing, and she had left her purse behind. We had some items missing from our garage, and we suspected that she had maybe taken them and pawned them as she had before. Your Honor, may I comment? Shh. And when I reached into the purse to find the pawn ticket, instead I came out with a Ziploc bag full of little dime bags of marijuana. And when she came home, after I confronted her with it, she became physically violent, and my husband dialed 911 to protect me.
Okay. Did you find the pawn tickets?
No, I didn't find the pawn ticket. I stopped when I found the marijuana. I was just too upset.
May I comment, Your Honor?
Yes.
I know it's wrong, but the reason that I did have the marijuana, I was trying to make extra money to give to her. She's always pressuring me about the money. I'm barely making it. I have a minimum wage job.
You had a minimum wage job. You were living rent-free at your mother's house. You had no expenses. That's not even a bad excuse, Ms. Dwyer. For the 10 months that you were living with your mother, were you working all of that time in a restaurant or just part of the time?
Part of the time.
And what were you doing with your money?
I would give her some. I would pay my car insurance. I have an outstanding Memorial Medical Center bill.
Okay, so you went to jail because when the police came, as a result of your father calling 911, they took possession of the marijuana that was in your purse. And how long were you incarcerated?
30 days, Your Honor.
Now, tell me about this check fraud. What did you need this money for, Ms. Dwyer?
I put it towards my memorial bill, Your Honor.
Oh, no. I don't buy that. Not for a second.
You can believe what you want to believe, Your Honor.
Not for a second, my dear. Well, I know that you had to pay for the marijuana that you bought because you said you were selling it. So if you were selling it, then you had to buy it from somebody in order to sell it and make a profit. So I don't know what you spent the money for that you took it.
It wasn't that much.
Whatever it was. Listen, this is your problem. How many kids do you have?
3, plus my granddaughter.
Oldest, youngest?
She's the youngest.
Boys, girls?
2 boys and a girl.
They all right? The 2 boys?
Yeah.
And then in your retirement years, you're raising an 8-year-old.
Yes.
And I suppose you love her to death?
Yes.
But it wasn't something you anticipated doing?
No.
Got it.
Yes, ma'am.
There has to come a time when you have to clean up your own mess. People make messes, they got to clean them up. Can't always have somebody else cleaning up your mess. So far, the biggest thing that you did was make your mother the gift of your child so that she would spend the time that she would ordinarily have getting, massages and kicking back, raising a baby. For that, you should be eternally grateful. I don't know, Mrs. Dwyer, whether I would have called the police twice. I'm not sure of the circumstances. I'm not even going there. The one thing I do know is you will be very fortunate if you get the restitution that your daughter owes you, and that she owes you from several years ago. She hasn't paid that. So why you think she's going to pay rent is absolutely beyond me. I mean, maybe you're looking to have some sort of a dialogue with your daughter and you think the courtroom process is the way to do it. I think it's a very bad way to do it.
If I may, Your Honor?
Yeah, sure.
The restitution was to be paid through the court.
I understand that. She hasn't paid it.
I have the court paper that shows that she's made a $25 restitution on that.
She hasn't paid it. It's 2 years. Why would you encumber any more debt for her and expect repayment when she has not, over 2 years, said, if I paid $25 every 2 weeks, my restitution would be paid off? She has absolutely no intention of paying it off. She's lucky if she can keep her head above water, Ms. Dwyer.
Because when she came back, she brought her boyfriend with her, and the payment was not for her. She promised me to pay $100 to keep him under my roof.
Let him pay the $100. From her, you're getting nothing, because I don't think that you even anticipated at the time that you were going to get anything. Do you see your daughter?
Yes.
How
all
often?
The time. Every day.
No.
Then I really don't understand why you're here. In any event, Mr. Dwyer, I don't...
Count in the matter of Lindsay versus Williams. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Miss Lindsay, Mr. Williams used to be your boyfriend. He's not your boyfriend anymore. It is your claim that he owes you a whole bunch of money for loans that you made to him during the course of your relationship, including, but not limited to, half the expenses for a trip that you paid for to Cancun.
Yes.
Mr. Williams says that he owes you nothing. Whatever money that you did give him was sort of boyfriend-girlfriend thing. There was never any agreement to pay back that money, and that you had a hissy fit at one point and you cut his crocodile shoes. As a result of that, you felt guilty, so you invited him to go on a trip to Cancun, all expenses paid, right?
Yes.
When did you meet Mr. Williams, Miss Lindsay?
In October of '01.
And how long were you together?
Until May of '04.
Did you ever live together?
No. I lived in Cincinnati. He was in Philadelphia.
Were you under the impression that you were the only girlfriend?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have a monogamous relationship, Mr. Williams, with Miss Lindsay?
No.
When did you tell her that you were seeing other people as well?
After the day we came from Cancun.
2004?
Yes.
Okay. What money do you claim you loaned to Mr. Williams during the course of your relationship, other than the trip to Cancun?
Well, over the course of our relationship, John seemed to have been financially in trouble a lot. I did loan him some money by way of, I said, now look, if you need this money, I will loan it to you, and when you get on your feet, you can pay it back.
Well, what if he never got back on his feet?
He said, okay. He agreed to that.
What I'm saying to you is, what if he never got back on his feet? Some people never do.
I just would not have
gotten your money back.
Right.
Are you back on your feet?
Somewhat.
Somewhat. You see, Miss Lindsay, a loan goes something like this. I am going to give you $1,000. Our agreement is you pay me back $1,000 when you get your tax returns in 2005. Now, what if you never get your tax refund back in 2005? Do you have a loan?
Yes.
No. You don't. If you say, I'm going to give you this $1,000, you're going to pay me back in May of 2005, hopefully from your tax returns. But if you don't pay me back from your tax returns, the loan has to be paid in May of 2005. Do you understand the difference?
I do.
Okay. So here's some money, honey. You pay me back when you get back on your feet. You don't even expect to get paid back.
But I did, Your Honor. He started to pay.
Well, you started giving him money right away, according to you, and you started going out with him in 2001. So let's say you made your first advance in 2002?
The 7th month of 2002.
And when did you make your last loan to him?
The 7th month of 03.
When did you loan him money to go to Cancun?
That was just on the credit card. We agreed to, we were going to go to Cancun. We had been to the Bahamas, and we received round-trip vouchers.
I don't care where you're going to go. You gave him money in 2002. He never paid you back, according to you. He owed you money from 2003 that he hadn't paid back fully, because you allege that is money that he owes you, right? So in the summer of 2004, a year later, you decide to loan him money to go to Cancun. And what I don't understand is why you're making him a loan when he still owes you money from the year before, and why you're making a loan when he still owes you money from the year before that.
Because I believed that he would pay it back.
Well, I don't know what gave you that impression.
Because he was paying some money.
How much did he pay you back?
He had paid $200.
On how much of a loan?
I don't know, because I had not added it all total at that point.
Miss Lindsay.
Yes.
He doesn't want to be your boyfriend anymore.
That's fine. I'm okay with that. Good. Very much so.
Good. Okay. Tell me about the trip to Cancun, Mr. Williams.
How that came about, Your Honor, was he had gotten 2 round-trip vouchers from Bermuda when we went to a trip on Bermuda.
All right, Bahamas, Bermuda, Zelters, the same thing.
All right, she called me up, Your Honor, and she said, well,
that
look.
Means the same thing in Yiddish. Zelters means the same thing. Yeah, go ahead.
She called me up,
John,
look here, let's go to Cancun. We got these vouchers, and I'll take you there. You got the plane ticket to get there. I'll take care of that. I'm saying, cool, all right. You know, I felt that I was owed that anyway.
Why?
You know, we were in a relationship. It was starting to get more serious than I wanted it to be. Miss Lindsay, she really didn't want to hear that. All right, and she kept pursuing the relationship. Now, it came a point when I told her, I said, look, you know, I wanted to end the relationship, and she surprised me one day. She flew to South Philly, came by my barbershop, unexpected, and she said she wanted to talk, go out to dinner, and, you know, maybe try to, like, get some clarity on where I was coming from. I said, okay, cool. We went to dinner, we talked.
Just a second. Were you trying to get some clarification as to what his intentions were when you came to Philadelphia?
Because at that point, Your Honor, they were not clear.
They should have been clear as a bell.
Okay.
You met him in 2001. If he wasn't down on one knee between 2001 and 2004 with a small box in his hand, you should have known what his intentions were. Right?
Right.
All right, so she came to the barbershop in Philly, and?
We went out to dinner, we talked. I thought she had got an understanding on just how I felt. I mean, that's the understanding I got. I asked, I said, Ms. Lindsay, you know, like, when you going back home? She said, I'm going back tomorrow. My plane leave tomorrow. I said, where you going to stay? Did you make any arrangements? Because, you know, see her to her hotel. She said, no, I didn't. You know, against my better judgment, I said, look, all right, you can stay over my spot tonight. You know, and go to the airport in the morning. I woke up in the middle of the night, and I saw Miss Lindsay, like, in my bedroom with my safe open, going through my mail, and I'm like, come on, man, what is this? What you doing? So I said, well, look, you got to go. I let you into my spot. You getting crazy like this. You got to go. I go in the kitchen, make me a cup of coffee. She comes in the kitchen with a steak knife. I'm like, oh, Rage. I said, what was you going to cut me while I was asleep? Oh, no, John, I wouldn't do that to you. I wouldn't do that to you.
She
what
cut
you
your
doing
shoes.
tonight? Yeah. But I didn't find that out. I didn't find that out till she went home to Cincinnati because she called, left a couple of messages. John, I need to talk to you, so I returned the call. What's going on? She said, I did something I regret, and I wanted to tell you before you found out. I'm like, what's going on? She said, I cut up your shoes. I'm like, oh, Ray, I looked down at my shoe rack. She cut up 6 pair of my skins, my Crocs, y'all. That's mean and evil. You don't cut up a man's shoe.
What?
That's mean.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
It was a dishonest, cruel joke to 2 women. And you can take your shoes, and if I were at a different venue, I would tell you what you could do with them.
And later today,
You can't sue him for $50 on Monday, futon on Tuesday, $250 on Wednesday, because that suggests to me that he's right when he says that you're not.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Lori Lindsay says ex-boyfriend John Williams owes for loans and a Cancun vacation. John says Lori is a woman scorned.
I did cut up his shoes.
I knew you did.
I did.
I knew you did.
I did. I cut up his shoes, and I cut up a couple pairs of pants. But, Your Honor, I did take care of those things.
Miss Lindsay.
Yes.
All I'm interested in is the trip to Cancun. Now, you went on the trip with her, Mr. Williams, is that right? When did you return from Cancun?
I believe it was in June.
It was in May, Your Honor.
After you came back from Cancun, sir, and went to Philadelphia, when did you call Miss Lindsay and tell her that you had a girlfriend?
The next day.
That night, Your Honor.
Would you tell me why, Mr. Williams?
My girlfriend grilled me. She was like on me because I lied to her and told her I was going to my sister in North Carolina. I don't know how she put it together, but, you know, she was at me and just busted me. So I had
Was
to come
it so
clean.
important, Mr. Williams, that you go to Cancun so that you had to lie to your girlfriend, lie to Miss Lindsay, who you know had reasonable intentions? You went with her to Cancun. I assume you shared a hotel together?
Yes.
Why would you do such a thing, Mr.
Because I felt like I wasn't compensated enough for my loss.
You mean for your shoes?
Yes.
Boy.
I'm only being honest.
I'm glad that you're being honest. Amoral, you are. Honest also. I mean, you're at least being honest with me. You certainly aren't honest with the women in your life, Mr. Williams. Have you ever been married?
No.
You have children?
Yes. 2 girls, 1 boy.
How old are your girls, Mr. Williams?
My oldest is 32.
She married?
My son is... Pardon me?
Is she married?
Yes, she is.
Have children?
Yes.
What would you think about her husband if he told her he was going to see his aged aunt in North Carolina and went with a woman to Cancun on a lark for 4 days? How would you feel about him?
That wouldn't be cool.
No, how would you feel about him? Would you feel hateful if he hurt your daughter?
Yeah.
Would you feel as if he deserved whatever happened to him? Because he
Yes.
was an amoral person?
Yes.
Do you consider yourself an amoral person?
I try.
You try to be amoral, you're succeeding. You get my drift, sir? I'm trying to teach you about the word empathy. Empathy is a thing that one human being feels for another, so that you don't say, my needs, my desires are more, even if they're wrong, are more important than another person's feelings that are legitimate. You know, her feelings are legitimate. She may have been overly involved in you, but you are certainly doing little things to, in your own way, encourage that.
I don't think so, Jan.
Yeah, sure you are. So, you see, when a man says to a woman, sure, I'd love to go to Cancun. Let's go. We'll go, we'll have a great time. You spent 4 days, you shared the same room, you were intimate with each other, you had dinner together, you laughed with each other. And then when you come home and your girlfriend grills you, you call her that night. And you say, by the way, I have a girlfriend. And this was all a joke that I played on you. A dishonest, cruel, but that's what it was. It was a dishonest, cruel joke to 2 women, her and your girlfriend.
Yeah,
and your girlfriend. That, sir, is amoral. And you can take your shoes, and if I were at a different venue, I would tell you what you could do with them. He said, you called and said, I want to go to Cancun, and he says you cut up all of his skin shoes, and he thought that that was a good payment for it. Well, that's a little amoral, but it's also not the right thing to cut up and destroy his clothes.
I have proof that I paid for the things that I cut up. I have proof here, ma'am.
Show me.
There's for damages and repairs. Ask him about, he bought a fur coat in Cincinnati.
No. All I want to know is, show me that you paid him the money for the clothes that you cut up.
There. Highlight it in different
October
areas.
15th, shoes, $180. Did she buy you shoes, sir?
3 pair.
Oh, so she did buy you 3 pair.
I never said that she didn't.
Well, no, but listen to me, sir. What you said was, in your answer,
I said when it came to...
After that incident involving the shoes, Lori did everything she could to try to make it up to me. She bought me a pair of shoes to replace a few things she cut up, but it didn't come close to the amount she had ruined. So when Lori contacted me and wanted to take me on a trip to Cancun, I accepted, no strings attached.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh, Your Honor.
Who was supposed to pay for the hotel, Mr. Williams?
Lori.
It was agreed upon. I didn't call him asking him to go to Cancun. When we got the tickets in Bermuda, almost a year before, we agreed that we were going to go.
Okay.
So we were in a relationship.
Okay. Mr. Williams, not only did you go to Cancun and you hurt 2 ladies by going to Cancun for no reason, you got to pay for at least half your way. So I'm going to give Miss Lindsay a judgment in the amount of $750. Write him off. He's bad news. He's somebody else's problem now.
Exactly.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I was going through some things, and I found out some things that I didn't particularly care for.
When she handed me the steak knife, I was like, I thought she was going to cut me.
Somehow they ended up sliced.
I mean, that's mean. That's just mean and evil. Cut up a man's crotch. Come on, that ain't right.
I didn't get all of it, but that's the price I paid for dealing with what I dealt with.
In hindsight, thinking about it now, I'm glad she cut up the Crocs instead of cutting up me.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Karras versus Tierlink, step forward.
Retail manager Karen Karras is suing her ex-boyfriend, construction salesman Steve Tierlink, for unpaid rent and for money she loaned him to feed his children. Steve says Karen is crazy.
Ms. Karras, you briefly had a relationship, according to what I read, with Mr. Tierlink. And you claim that he stayed in your house for 2 weeks, for which he owes you expenses.
Yes, Your Honor.
And in addition, you say he owes you some money for a small loan that you gave him.
Yes.
Mr. Tierlink says, I'm paraphrasing, you're a nut.
You hit it.
You may be right. Why did he move into your house?
He was evicted from his apartment.
You invited him to come?
He called me and told me that he was in a lot of trouble and pretty much showed up at my house in tears with his 2 little children.
So you said, come on in.
What else could I do?
Good. Did they have a spare room for them?
No.
Where did he sleep?
On the floor.
Where did his children sleep?
On the floor.
And after 2 weeks, he left?
Yes.
Now, how much did he say he would pay you for the 2 weeks that he stayed in your house?
He just offered to give me some money. He said that I can pay you some money, and it wasn't some specific.
So it wasn't a firm contract?
Exactly.
Perfect. Then you get no money. Now let's move on to what this loan was. You want to tell me about it?
He said that he needed some money. He said that he didn't have any food for his children, and
so
I gave him some money because I was afraid that he wasn't going to be able to feed his children.
Good. How much did you give him?
$50.
That was nice of you.
It was a loan.
Well, you said it was a loan. That's not what you just told me. You said you were afraid he wouldn't have money to take care of his children. He
asked to borrow. He asked me to borrow the money, and I agreed that I would lend him the money, and he agreed that he would pay me back.
Tell me about the conversation.
Well, he said that he needed some money, and I said that I would agree to lend him the money, and when I agreed to lend someone the money, then I expect them to pay me back, and he did agree to pay me back. So it was a loan.
Did she give you $50, sir?
Yes, she did, Your Honor.
Okay. Did you give it back to her?
Not in that way.
What did you do?
I took her out for dinner, drinks,
You
lunch.
did?
Yes. Shortly after I stayed at her location, which wasn't 2 weeks, I was only there for 3 or 4 days.
I dismissed that part of this lawsuit.
Okay.
I was interested, Mr. Tierling, because you indicate in your answer that the plaintiff has tried to sue you before for something.
Yes, she has, Your Honor, and I have paperwork here.
Can I see the paperwork for the
I'd like
prior
to.
lawsuit?
It was a loan for a futon, which was, the case was dismissed. I paid her back. That has the receipts and everything right there.
You sued him for this $50 already.
But when he paid me exactly for the futon, he did not pay for any of the other things.
That doesn't make any difference, madam. Your lawsuit that was dismissed sought as a claim a $50 personal loan, as well as the balance on a futon.
Right, and there was also a $200 loan as well that's not even indicated there.
Let me explain something to you. You have a responsibility, unless you want to abuse the legal system, to include everything in a lawsuit. You can't sue him for $50 on Monday, futon on Tuesday, $250 on Wednesday, because that suggests to me that he's right when he says that you're a nut. So, I think that you have to put a period. He's not interested. He doesn't want anything to do with you anymore. He's moving on with his life. Kiss him goodbye, figuratively, and kiss me goodbye, figuratively. Your case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. Literally. Goodman versus Kyle. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Miss Goodwin, Miss Kyle was the resident manager in the apartment complex where you used to live.
Correct.
And you're suing her for thousands of dollars because you say she ignored a medical condition that you had, placing your life at risk, both yours and your daughter's.
Correct.
And you want your pain and suffering that she caused you, some medical bills. In addition, you want a security deposit of $1,000 that she hadn't returned to you.
Correct.
And Miss Kyle says she owes you absolutely nothing. As a matter of fact, you lived there the last month without paying rent, and that's what your security deposit went for. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Now let's get to the medical condition first, because I find that quite interesting. I gather there is a gate.
Correct.
In your former complex where you lived, and that when you moved in, you were told that in order to get in and out of the gate, you needed a clicker, like a remote, and it was $25.
Yeah, but at the time, I did not own a...
Don't get ahead of me, please. Okay. I'll let you fill in the blanks. Okay. I'm sort of setting this out so that Bert doesn't get bored.
Okay.
So you opted not to get a clicker because you didn't have a car.
No, I had a remote control, but it wasn't one that I purchased from her. At the time, I did not own a car, so there was no reason for me to have a remote control to the gate. But the only reason why I got it...
Listen to me. You didn't buy a remote control from her for $25.
Correct.
When did you move in?
I moved in April.
April of what year?
2004.
All right. And you lived there with your daughter?
My daughter and my son.
Then, in October of 2004, your daughter had a seizure.
Correct.
And paramedics came, and fire department, and everybody else, and they can get in to the complex, but because you didn't have a clicker, they couldn't get out. At least the ambulance couldn't get out. Mm-hmm. Is that right?
Correct.
So you were angry because your daughter was stuck in the ambulance or whatever, and you went to her the next day, I assume, and
yes,
said what? And said what?
I was very upset. I approached Miss Linda Kyle and informed her that around 4 o'clock that morning, the paramedics came and picked up my daughter because she had a seizure, and the fire truck came and opened up the gate. After the fire truck left, then the paramedics were there. When the paramedics got ready to leave out of the gate, there was no way for them to, when they went around the apartments, is only
Ms.
one.
Goodwin, we're not creating a novel here. This is a novella, small. The ambulance couldn't get out.
No, they couldn't.
So you went and complained the next day?
Yes, I did.
And what did Miss Kyle say to you?
She did nothing.
Your daughter suffers from seizures?
That was the first seizure that I've ever had my daughter have.
Well, after you had that first experience, you know what I would have done?
No.
I would have bought a clicker.
Okay.
You chose not to do that. And then a month later, you had an asthma attack.
Correct.
And you still didn't have a clicker.
Exactly, but that has nothing to do with the paramedics. The paramedics should be able to get out of that gate at all times. The only one that has a code is the fire truck. Once the fire truck leaves, there's nothing that the paramedics can do. The night that I had that asthma attack, there was no way for them. They saved my life. I was hospitalized for 3 days because of that. And the first time, she did nothing.
What I don't understand is why you didn't buy a clicker.
Why I didn't? Because I didn't have a car. There was no need for me. After someone stole it inside the apartment.
Listen to me. There was a need because a month before your daughter had a serious incident, according to you. And had you had a clicker at that point, you would have gone out in the ambulance with your daughter, gone like this, and the gate would have gone up.
Well, at the time, when a 2-year-old is sitting there having a seizure, that remote control does not mean anything to me. That is my 2-year-old daughter. That's the only daughter that I have. That remote control.
I want to tell you something. You're not making sense to me. You're not making sense to me.
The remote control, okay, the remote control is a big thing to me, okay? It is. But when it comes to the fire truck and the paramedics, that has nothing to do with me having a remote control to the gate. That has nothing to do with it at all, period. I could have lost my life in that paramedics. That's why I'm so upset.
Listen to me, madam. What I don't understand is your daughter had a seizure in October. The paramedics had a problem getting out of your gate. Now you know that your daughter is subject to seizures. I would have said to myself, I have a 2-year-old child. I'm not going to be put in a situation where this can ever happen to me again. Here's $25. Give me a clicker. I'm going to keep it in my house in case I ever have that kind of problem again. That's the way you protect your child. Why would you blame that on somebody else?
Well, it's a lot when it comes to Miss Linda.
We're not talking about Miss Linda. I'm talking about you being a responsible parent.
Yes.
You now have a
very
child that you know is
my
subject to seizures, who may in the future have that kind of an emergency. And just as you would go and get the medicine for your child that the doctor gave you, you would want to ensure that if an ambulance had to be called again, you would be able to get the ambulance in and out. I mean, if you disapprove of the way this apartment complex is run, you have a choice. You can move.
Correct.
That's your choice. But to stay there after your 2-year-old has had a seizure without the ability to get her out in case of an emergency is very, very irresponsible.
Well, I thought she was going to fix the problem after I approached her with it.
What made you think that?
Because she's the manager of the apartments. And
no, what did she say to you that led you to believe that she was going to fix it?
She told me they had a code to the gate. They don't have a code to that gate because we sat out there for 30 minutes. When I had my asthma attack, they went knocking on people's doors at 4 o'clock in the morning to get me out.
Just a second. Let me ask you a question. They were knocking on people's doors, the paramedics?
Correct.
What did they want when they were knocking on people's doors?
They wanted to get out of the gate.
They wanted a
remote control to get out of the gate.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Are you living someplace now that you like?
Yes, me and my kids are very happy.
Does it have a gate?
Yes, it does. And as a matter of fact, the people can get in and out of the gate.
Perfect. Then you're in a place where you're happy.
And later today,
the numbers came up. I won. I was amazed.
I seen it on the ground, and I picked it up, and I did cash it.
Once you found out that it was his lottery ticket, you shouldn't have kept the money.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Monique Goodwin says she nearly died from an asthma attack because paramedics couldn't open the security gate to her apartment. Manager Linda Kyle says Monique never purchased a remote control.
Now, after your incident in November, at some point you were served with an eviction notice. You want to tell me why you served her with an eviction notice?
The eviction notice that Ms. Goodwin was served with had nothing to do with the gate. It was due to a nuisance matter where her and her sister was fighting all outside.
You have a complaint?
Yes, I do.
May I see it, please? Who witnessed this?
Actually, it was 3 or 4 apartments in the complex that called and reported that there was a big scene.
Did you have surround sound in your apartment?
No, I do not own surround sound.
Your Honor, she told me she owned surround sound.
When did she tell you that?
When I asked her to turn her music down.
What did she say?
She said that she didn't feel that she should have to get rid of her surround sound, that she had a right, as long as she paid her rent and her apartment, to play her music whenever she felt like it.
Which is a lie.
Okay, so you were served with this 3-day notice to quit on December the 1st.
No, I wasn't.
When were you served?
I was given this notice to quit on December the 3rd. I tried to give her my rent on the 1st of December. She looked at me with a big smile on her face while me and my mom was in her office and told me that she was not going to accept my rent.
Okay. So she said, I'm not going to accept your rent on December 1st. You were given a notice to vacate the apartment. When did you, in fact, leave the apartment?
We went to court on January the 5th. I didn't leave until January the 22nd.
What was your rent?
My rent was $625.
Did you pay rent for December?
I tried. I have.
Don't tell me you tried.
No, I.
Did you pay rent for December? Did you live there in December?
Yes, I did.
Did you pay rent in January?
No, I did not, because she.
Did you live there in January?
Yes, I did. I tried to give her my rent. She did not want it.
No, she wanted you out. The only issue is whether, when you moved out, you owed any money. You lived there for 2 months. You didn't pay rent for 2 months. I'm not here to determine whether or not the underlying case of the eviction was right or wrong. That's been resolved by the housing court. I'm here because you want your security deposit back, and what I'm saying to you is you expected to live there for December and January and not have, I'm speaking, and not pay rent?
I'm gonna get mad.
Are you living someplace now that you like?
Yes, me and my kids are very happy.
Good, that's what I think should happen. I think that you and your children should find a place to live where you're very happy. Does it have a gate?
Yes, it does. And as a matter of fact, the people can get in and out of the gate.
Perfect. Then you're in a place where you're happy.
But the problem...
Listen to me. You're in a place where you're happy. All right. Now, you were given an opportunity to get a remote control for the gate. You chose not to get one. Even after your daughter had a seizure, you chose not to get one.
What does that have to do with the paramedics? I don't understand that.
Miss Goodwin, listen, there are no free rides.
Yeah, but this is the receipt that I tried to give her my rent money.
But
she would not take it from me.
You just paid it with your security deposit, that's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Me and my daughter could have lost our lives while we were in that paramedics.
Well, I think Judge Judy got a chance to see through Miss Monique.
This lady is a very good liar, and she lies all the time.
She's young. This is her first apartment.
She's just and I hate her, and I'm going to keep hating her.
She's a little hard-headed. You can't make her understand.
She's just like, ugh.
Pray for patience.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Hackett versus Duval. Step forward, please.
Tree surgeon James Hackett is suing medical assistant Patricia Duval for cashing his winning lottery ticket after he lost it.
Mr. Hackett, it is your claim that the defendant cashed your winning lottery ticket.
Yes, ma'am.
Defendant says she found it. It's hers.
That's correct.
When did you purchase this lottery ticket, sir?
I purchased it on a Saturday. It was October the 2nd of last year. And on that day, I went down to the lottery agency and found they weren't open. So I put it in my wallet and decided...
Just a second. When was the drawing?
It was drawn that day.
The same day?
Yes.
Where did you watch the numbers?
It was on a TV screen in the store. The numbers came up. It was the first game. I won. I was amazed.
Had you played those numbers before, or was it a random?
Three of the numbers are birthdays. My mother's, and one of my other deceased brother's birthday. The other three are random numbers that come up a lot. So I played them together and happened to win.
Okay. Where did you purchase the ticket?
Chelmsford, Massachusetts.
Where?
It was a convenience store in Massachusetts.
When you found out that you won on these numbers, what did you do with your winning ticket?
I brought it up to the counter, and the store manager, what he does is a general practice. In that store, they photocopy it and hang it up on a little display thing to tout the winning numbers.
So he photocopied your lottery ticket?
He did, fortunately.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. James Hackett is suing Patricia Duval for cashing his winning lottery ticket. Patricia says she found the ticket, so it should be hers.
What happened to the ticket, Mr. Hackett?
Well, the following Monday, I went back to work. I'm a professional tree climber.
A tree climber, what is that?
I climb trees and reduce them, take them down. I do difficult takedowns.
Okay.
And I did all the hard work in the morning, and there was one easy one. And 21 years of climbing, this one little stupid tree I'm climbing, a branch broke. I fell out of the tree 12 feet. I hit the ground, I break 8 ribs, my wrist, I puncture a lung, and the ambulance comes to get me, and I can hear a chopper coming. I can't breathe, and I have the guys flip me over on my back and take my gear off, my saddle, my hooks, my chainsaw, all the stuff, my helmet, was all my safety gear.
Is that when you claim that you lost your lottery ticket?
They cut my pants off, my
Is
wallet.
that what you claim?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Where exactly was this? Where did this happen?
In Berlin, Massachusetts.
Is that where you live, in Berlin?
No, ma'am.
Where do you live?
Douglas, Mass.
Were you in Berlin?
Not Berlin, no.
Where did you find the lottery ticket?
Northborough, Mass, at a Dunkin' Donuts parking lot.
How far is that from Berlin?
I couldn't tell you.
It's a town or two away, ma'am.
So it's one town away.
Yeah, I believe so.
Good. Now we come to you.
Okay.
You found the lottery ticket in a Dunkin' Donuts parking lot,
Yes,
one
I did.
town away from where he lost his lottery ticket, right?
Yes.
And what did you do with it?
Well, my husband and I came out of the Dunkin' Donuts and we were going to our car, and I seen it on the ground, and I picked it up and looked at it. It also had like a confirmation with the ticket saying that apparently it was a winner. So it was late, about 6:37 at night.
What date?
October 7th.
Okay.
And so I picked it up, and the next day I went to the lottery agent, and sure enough, it was a winner, and it wasn't signed, so I signed it, and I did cash it.
Cash it. Okay. And how much money did you get?
$1,600.
Ma'am, I have a problem with that.
Now, Mr. Hackett, after you realized that your lottery ticket was missing, you contact the lottery office?
Yes, I boogied down there from, as soon as I got out of the hospital.
And at that point, you went down there with the numbers that you had.
Yes.
Did you go back to the store that had posted the winning lottery?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let me see it, please.
Ma'am, she's saying she's found...
Oh, it's a Keno.
It's a keynote.
Keno.
game. I'm not in the habit of playing it, but if I have a fistful of dollars, I'll play it once in a while.
Okay. So you went down to them, got this.
Yes, ma'am.
Got this.
Unfortunately, they had photocopied that.
Right.
3 of those numbers are birthdays that mean something to me.
Don't say
Sorry,
anything,
ma'am.
Mr. You never can tell. So far, you're doing okay.
But, ma'am, I don't know this gentleman at all.
I don't
Never
know you
seen
either.
him before in
Mr.
my
Hackett,
life.
did I give you an opportunity to speak? Was she quiet when you were speaking?
Yes, ma'am.
Don't interrupt her.
I've never seen him before in my life.
You don't have to see him.
And there was no signature on it. And like any normal person, if you find something that's worth something and there's no signature, no ownership, then you're going to keep it, you know?
I am satisfied that Mr. Hackett lost his lottery ticket.
Well, yes.
And based upon this, I am satisfied that the winning lottery ticket that you found belonged to Mr. Hackett.
Ma'am, I hit it.
I'm speaking!
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Let's say, Miss Duval, that you're walking along the street and you find a 4-carat emerald cut diamond. Doesn't have a name, doesn't have an address, doesn't have anything. And you take it home. And you say, gee, this looks great. I'm going to size it and wear it on my finger. And you do. Then you're having your nails done a week later. And the woman at the next counter is sitting there and she says, it's a nice ring. And you say, yeah, I found it. She said, well, I lost my ring last week. Do you mind if we take it in to the jeweler? Because I have my GIA that you get when you buy a diamond, and it maps all the little dots in a diamond so it can identify, you know, one diamond from another. You go with her to the gemologist, and he said, that diamond belongs to that report.
Yes, and I would agree. Yes, I would agree.
That's her diamond.
Yes. And
Even
it'd be
though
no
you
problem
found
to
it.
take it back, yes.
Even though you found it.
Yep.
He lost his lottery ticket. His problem is not with you finding it and cashing it. His problem is once you found out that it was his lottery ticket, you shouldn't have kept the money.
I just found out when I got notified.
Oh, there we go. So we have no problem. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,600. Thank you.
Versus Kilpatrick. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated.
Ms. Hines, the defendant is your former boyfriend. You
Yes.
lived together. He's also the father of your child.
Yes.
You had a lease together. He moved out 4 months prior to the lease terminating.
Yes.
You took him to court for 2 months of the 4 months.
Yes.
Because the other 2 months hadn't passed yet. And you got a judgment against him for those 2 months.
Yes.
Now you want the last 2 months of the rent that he owes you. And you also claim that you had a lot of pain and suffering because he wasn't a nice guy.
Yes.
Well, forget pain and suffering. You don't get paid for pain and suffering. You terminate a relationship for pain and suffering. Do you understand?
Yes.
Good. So you want your rent.
Yes.
Mr. Kilpatrick has a very good excuse for not paying the rent for the last 2 months.
Yes, I do, ma'am.
He says that the reason he didn't pay rent for the last 2 months is because you filed a restraining order against him and his mother, and so he couldn't live in the apartment, and if he couldn't live in the apartment, then he wasn't going to pay rent.
Not
That's
true.
his defense.
Yes.
So, when did you move into the apartment?
We moved in March 14, 2006.
And you were both on the lease?
Yes, we were.
And when did you leave, sir?
I'm not exactly sure.
When did he leave?
November 9th, and they filed for the restraining order. He was
November 9th?
Yes.
2006?
Yes.
And when did you file a restraining order against him?
I filed November 2nd, but he was served November 14th at 5:55 a.m.
But you had filed it on November 2nd?
Yes.
I want to see the allegations that you put in the restraining order application. Thank you. You filed this on November the 2nd, and according to this, it says the most recent date of abuse was September 10th, 2006. And you say he strangled me to the point that I could not scream anymore. He also stated that he would only get a slap on the wrists.
If he did it again.
It would be something he would hit me because it was his first offense. And you filed this 2 months later. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Between September 10th and November the 2nd, when you went to the police to file for this restraining order, where were you living?
I was staying there, but he wasn't.
You were in the apartment?
Yes.
And he was not living there?
He was still living there, but he never came home. He was in and out. He would go to his mom's house. We were sleeping in separate bedrooms. I was sleeping in my daughter's room, and he was sleeping in our bedroom.
Fine. So then my question to you is,
Okay.
2 months later, what prompted you to go to the police?
I don't have transportation. Not only was I trying to get to the courthouse to file a restraining order on him, everything in between then, I was going to the police station. I was always talking to the police about what I can do about our child and him getting out of the apartment, but not necessarily him moving out because I still needed him to pay his half of the rent.
Just a second. You asked for, in your restraining order, a stay-away order asking that he may not be within 15 feet from you. How was he supposed to be within 15 feet from you if he was still living in the apartment?
Because at the time, whenever he would come home, he would go in his room, and I'll either be sleeping in the living room on the floor or in our bedroom.
Listen, did you want him out of the apartment or in the apartment?
I wanted him to stay because he was still on
Then
the
there was
lease.
no reason for you to file for a protective order.
I just
It's
didn't want him to
nonsense.
hit me again.
You said that the last time he put his hands on you was when he choked you 2 months before. That's what you swore to in here.
Yes.
So that there had to be a reason, 2 months later, that you went to the police. You managed to find your way to the police.
Yes.
And file this protective order.
I went to the courthouse to file that.
Listen, you're not being honest with me. He moved out. He had a right to move out. He would have been crazy to stay there. Absolutely insane to stay there with a protective order. When all you have to do is pick up the phone, call the police, they come, they arrest him. And all you have to do is say, he threatened me, and he finds himself in jail. So he would be insane to stay in the apartment.
May I please say something?
Sure.
It says right here that he was not even served. He didn't even know I had a restraining order on him until after. I'm telling you.
It doesn't make any difference whether he knew or not, madam. You knew.
Yes.
So how dare you come here knowing that you had the restraining order, that you didn't serve on him for another couple of days, but you knew you had it, and still want him to pay rent?
Because his name was still on the lease. I did not ask Devin to leave. They said 15 feet because his name was still on the lease. They could not kick him out. I had no choice. I didn't want him to put his hands on me again, Judge.
Good.
I was afraid. I didn't know what else to do.
I understand. You should have left. Should have left. But you can't go get a restraining order on him and say you have to stay in the house, despite the fact that I have a restraining order on you.
Okay.
So now you are like my prisoner. You look at me cross-eyed, I'm going to call the police. Whether he did anything bad to you in September or not, I don't know. Certainly you didn't go to the police in September. So he would be nuts to stay with you. And now you come to court and you say, I want him to pay the rent.
Yes, because...
When he did nothing to you in November, nothing to you in October, nothing to you 3 weeks in September. If I believe that you got into a fight and he put his hands on you in September, I'm not condoning that.
Okay.
And if you put him out right away, I would have said, okay.
Okay.
And if I believed that he choked you in September, I would have said, you're bad, you have to pay the rent.
Okay.
But when you wait 2 months, there's something else going on.
I tried.
Okay,
I
I'm
did
trying
everything-
to. Believe
No,
me, I'm
Judge,
trying.
I did everything I could to get to the police department. I went throughout the month of October to get information on what I could do because he's the father of my child. I was trying to ask for information about child custody and what I could do about everything.
I'm not talking about child custody.
I know
I'm
what
talking
domestic
I'm
violence.
talking about a restraining order.
Okay.
Not child custody, not support, not anything else. Just about the fact that you were in abject fear of him and in need of a protective order that excluded him from the house. You cannot live with somebody with a restraining order and expect them to stay in the apartment because of the way the laws are recognized now. All you have to do is call the police and say, he looked at me cross-eyed, I want him arrested.
Those were
And
my
then he's
intentions.
there on a violation of a protective order, which allows them to incarcerate him for up to 6 months by just looking at you cross-eyed.
But those were not my intentions.
Oh, listen, I don't care what your intentions were or not. The fact is you did have a restraining order against him, and he was perfectly right to leave because you didn't go and file that restraining order at the time you allege he hurt you. You waited 2 months. So there was some other agenda that you had, and I don't know what that was because you look at me, like you don't understand what I'm talking about. But then you were served with a restraining order and you came back into the apartment with your mother.
No, not my mother.
When?
Around, I guess, a week later.
After you were served?
Yeah, I came, I got all my stuff, and then that was it.
Not true.
You came and you got some of your stuff, included the refrigerator.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's what she's
Well,
annoyed at because
I
the
had to.
refrigerator, she said, was given to both of you as a couple by your mother.
She didn't give it to us both as a couple. She
I
gave
don't
it to
care.
me.
Yeah, she did at the time because you were both eating out of the refrigerator, I
Judge.
assume. But he's allowed to keep the refrigerator.
It was not a week later. It was the same day because I had to purchase a refrigerator the very same day. I have the receipt with the date.
But I
and
don't
time
understand
on it.
what you want, and I don't understand what your pain and suffering is.
Because I almost had a miscarriage. I had to be taken out of school literally on November 29th. My doctor had to write me an excuse because I had to keep on being rushed to the hospital. And I have all the hospital papers stating that I had
You have a hospital paper that says it's his fault that you almost had a miscarriage?
Well, it was stress.
Of course it's stressful. Life is stressful, madam. Life is stressful.
Yes, it is.
Life is stressful. You don't want to be stressed until you're sure about somebody. You shouldn't get pregnant by them.
Actually, those were my intentions either.
Well, it's
I
not
have
your
papers
intentions.
show-
That what you do is you take care.
But I was on birth control. I have the papers proving that I was on birth control. You would like to see it.
Well, I suggest you sue the birth control company because it failed. Listen to me, Miss Hines. Are you living in the apartment now by yourself?
Yes.
Perfect. Are you working?
No.
Well, how are you supporting yourself?
I had money that was saved up, and I spent all that money on the rent.
How old are you?
I'm 20 and a half.
So why don't you go to your father or your mother's house? You're 20 years old and you have a baby. He should pay child support, but he's not going to support you. You're not his wife.
I know.
He said he'll contribute to the support of his child. He absolutely should do that.
But
Are
he's
you paying
not.
child support?
No, not yet.
Why not?
She just, I don't know, she just filed it, I guess.
She doesn't have to file it. Did you see your baby?
Yeah.
Well,
no.
You have to take care of your baby.
I see him when I can. I work about 6 days a week, so I can't be there all the time.
Well, if you work 6 days a week, then what you should do is you should have enough money to help support him.
But he
And you don't
doesn't.
need a court order to tell you that, sir. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
I should see the money coming out of your wallet right now.
Please, for some diapers. I would like some diapers.
Listen
for
to
our
me. Don't
son.
talk to him.
Okay, I won't.
I should see money coming out of your wallet now. Did you hear what I said?
I heard you.
Get it out.
Don't have none in my wallet.
How could a man who works 6 days a week not have any money in their wallet?
I don't keep money in my wallet.
Where do you keep it?
In the bank.
Good. How much money do you have in the bank?
Don't know.
Well, I've got news for you, sir. When ultimately you're going to want to see this child, and the tape of this is going to be available for her, for whatever, you get no sympathy from me if a father needs a court order to tell him that he's supposed to pay child support. Court's not supposed to tell you that. And here is supposed to tell you that. Do you understand? So the support should be forthcoming. You don't have to pay anything for rent. Because she wanted to live alone, she filed for a protective order against you. And if that's the case, then she pays the rent. Got it?
Okay.
And if you don't want to pay the rent, go home to your mother. Or get a job and start supporting yourself.
I will.
Good. Perfect. Your case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I thought that I was going to win because he left me.
I really didn't want to have the baby right away.
He got me pregnant. I didn't get myself pregnant.
When she got pregnant, yeah, there was a lot of anger.
He has another baby on the way.
I really didn't want to have a child.
The girl is about 5 months pregnant, and my son's only 3 months. What is that telling you about him?
Nobody laid you down, pried open your mouth, and poured alcohol down your throat. Nobody told you to fall asleep in the car. Nobody told you any of that.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of McLeod versus Lawler, step forward, please.
Ashley McLeod says former friend Justin Lawler owes for late fees associated with a broken window on her rental car. Ashley says police officers were forced to break into the car after Justin passed out drunk.
Miss McLeod, you and the defendant were friends. It's my understanding that you wanted to take a little day road trip together. You needed a car, so you rented a car on your credit card.
Yes.
And you were going from someplace to San Diego?
Actually, we were going from Austin, Texas to South Padre Island. And Justin had told me that he had to be on the rental car agreement because I couldn't rent the car by myself because I was under 21.
Okay, but the car was leased with your credit card?
Yeah.
Okay, and he was driving?
Yes.
What time did you rent the car?
We had gone that Friday. It was sometime in the afternoon to rent the car. And then we were going to leave for South Padre shortly after we had rented the car.
And you did?
Yep.
Was he drinking?
When the incident occurred, he had been to a few bars. He'd had a few drinks.
Well, that would be a yes.
Yes.
To make a long story short, what happened was he took the car to go from one place to another. I don't know where you were going. But according to you, you pulled the car over and fell asleep, but fell into a dead sleep coma because the police came up to the car and they tried to wake you.
It was actually parked in a parking spot.
They tried to wake you, and they couldn't wake you from this deep coma sleep. They banged on the door, they rapped with their baton, and then they feared for your safety. Since the car was locked, they busted out the window of the car in order to ensure that you were safe. Now, the car had to be taken in to be fixed. You paid for the window, but it took time, and she was charged $500 extra on her credit card that she feels as if you're responsible for, because but for the fact that you fell asleep in the car, it wouldn't have happened. That's your case.
Yes.
Mr. Lawler has an interesting defense that we are all breathlessly waiting to hear.
Well, when we first rented the car, I actually told her to get the rental car insurance because that way, if anything did happen, we would not be liable for the damages done. And at that time, she said that she had insurance. It would be $100 cheaper. The guy rang it up with the insurance on it for the rental car. And then she said, well, no, it'd be cheaper if we do it the other way. I didn't want to because I had rented a car before and know that if you get rental car insurance, it covers everything. So she insisted on putting her current insurance on there. And then once we got down there, her mom, she talked to her, told her the insurance was on there. And then her mom said if anything happened to that car, that their insurance would get dropped. So the insurance didn't cover the actual damages done at all.
Can I say something? What?
No!
Oh, sorry.
I'm not finished with him yet.
Sorry.
So let me understand his defense. His defense is she should have taken out the insurance.
Right.
That's your defense.
Yes, ma'am.
Sounds right to you?
Well, that sounds like what he said.
That sounds right. Why did you fall asleep in the car, Mr. Lawler?
Why did I fall asleep in the car?
Just a second. Is there an echo in here? I know that you think that it's going to give you an opportunity to think of a reason.
He wasn't sleeping. Sorry.
I'll get back to you. Why did you fall asleep in the car?
I had a couple drinks and I passed out in the car, and it was parked in a parking spot.
There you go.
I was not driving the car, though, that night.
All right, Mr. Lawler, let's dissect what you just said to me.
Okay.
You think that because you talk fast, that I'm not going to be able to dissect what you said to me? Okay. So you had had a few drinks and you passed out in the car.
I pulled the car over. I didn't drink. Yes,
That's
ma'am.
what you just said. Had a few drinks. Now, where did you do this drinking?
I had a couple hotel rooms.
Not in bars. You were in hotel rooms.
No, I was actually...
Who
Sorry.
who were you in hotel rooms with?
Just different kids we were selling tickets for our Akon party that next day.
How many different hotel rooms had you been in drinking that night?
Just a couple, actually.
Same hotel?
Just different ones.
Different hotels?
Yes.
How did you get there from one to the other?
I drove the first...
I drove.
The first one, yes.
Just a minute. I drove. And how'd you get to the second one?
The second one?
Yes, the
My
second
friend took
one.
me to the second one in his
The
car.
second one. Your friend took you in his car, and you left your car where?
There's a condo that was parked at.
You didn't tell me you were in a condo, sir. You said you were in hotel
Well,
rooms.
that's what South Potter has, condos and hotels. We just go to different ones.
You told me you were in a hotel room. Do you see where we're going, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Cameras pick up everything. So do my eyes. I have very, very bad vision when I have to read something without my glasses. Far away, I can tell a smirk and an I gotcha from a mile away. What do you do for a living?
I'm a promoter for a production company.
They're usually pretty glib and pretty light on their feet.
Mhm.
Promoters. I've been promoting myself for 3 times as long as you're alive. You owe her for the car. And you're going to pay her for the car because it was your fault.
Even though the insurance... was-
Your fault! Nobody laid you down, pried open your mouth, and poured alcohol down your throat. Nobody told you to fall asleep in the car. Nobody told you not to tell your friend, would you please take me back to one of these condos where I'm supposed to be staying tonight? Nobody told you any of that. You were drunk. You drove a car drunk. You passed out in the car. Your fault. You pay for it. How much did it cost you, sweetheart?
The remaining charges that he owes me for is $541.63.
Did you pay for your half of the rental?
Yes.
Okay. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $541.63. Thank you very much. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may in the matter of Kahneman versus Rhodes.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have a seat, please.
Ms. Kahneman, Mr. Rhodes was a boyfriend. You have a child together, and it is your claim that he owes you money from a lot of things. From a loan that you made to him some time ago for rent, and then for some car deal gone bad. Mr. Rhodes denies owing you any money, so let's go through the timeline.
Okay.
You and Mr. Rhodes were in a relationship in 2005 and 2006, is that correct?
Yes, December of 05 through July of 06, we were boyfriend-girlfriend together.
And you have a daughter together. How old is that child?
We have a son.
Son.
I actually found out that I was pregnant 3 weeks after we broke up and he moved out of my home.
And how old is the child?
6 months.
When was the first amount of money that you claim Mr. Rhodes owes you? When was that debt initiated?
That was initiated in January of 07. I have the paperwork here from both the dealership that did the repairs along with where my credit card was charged.
Well, tell me about the loan.
I was about 6 months pregnant. He was to start a new job and...
Were you living together or not?
No, we were not living together. We had broken up. But he was getting ready to start a new job, could not start the new job without a vehicle, so I agreed to...
So tell me what he said to you and what you said to him.
He asked me if I would help him to get the car repaired so he could have a job to support our family. And
is that what you did?
She actually offered it out.
Well, how did she know about it, Mr. Rhodes? How did she know that you needed someone to finance your car repairs?
Well, because we talk on a daily basis.
Okay. So she was pregnant.
And...
Just a second. She was pregnant at the time?
She was.
Was she working at the time?
She was.
And she was supporting herself at the time?
She was.
You weren't supporting her?
No.
So you called her and said...
Pretty much, my car's broke down.
So?
We discussed it, and she offered to help me out with it.
And?
And it got taken care of and paid for and done.
By whom?
By the dealership. She actually is the one that paid for it.
And?
That's about it.
What do you mean that's about it?
That's about it.
Well, it's your car. You have to pay for it.
Well, I understand.
So why didn't you do it?
Because I was financially unable to.
Why?
Because I was in between jobs.
Why?
Because door-to-door sales isn't easy.
Collect cans.
I've tried that. It didn't work out too well.
You tried collecting cans?
Yeah, it didn't work out too well.
I don't believe it. Don't be a smart mouth with me.
I'm not trying to be, Your Honor.
If you can't make a living as a door-to-door salesman, do something else.
That's what I did.
Good. What did you do?
I moved on to a different career.
What's your career?
I'm in furniture sales.
Commission or salary?
It's both. I'm guaranteed a certain amount per week, but if my commission outweighs that, I get my commission.
Who do you work for?
I work for Ashley.
And how long have you worked for them?
Since September 30th.
Who did you work for before that?
I work for Bright House Cable.
Doing what?
Door-to-door cable sales.
How old are you?
29.
You're too old to be still finding yourself, Mr. Rhodes.
I understand.
Who do you live with?
I live with my girlfriend.
What does she do for a living?
She is a server.
A server?
Mm-hmm.
What does she serve?
She serves food.
You're his friend?
Yes, ma'am.
What?
Yes, ma'am.
Just in the event you wanted to stand up next to him, I just wanted to give you some taste of what would happen to you if I don't get an answer that sounds logical to me. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect.
May I say something, Judge?
No. How much were the car repairs?
They were $15.24 and 60 cents. Right here I have the
I'd like
credit
to
card.
see them, please.
The statement from...
You got a pregnant girlfriend who's working, who's not taking any money from you during her pregnancy, who's working to support herself, and you call her to ask her for money? Ridiculous. Where is this car that she repaired for you?
It's actually sold.
You sold it for what?
Because she wanted me to sell it for 2 years, and so finally got to a point where I sold it.
And what'd you do with the money?
Pretty much paid off the lien that took a loan out on the car. Then that was pretty much it. Took care of the whole car.
So how do you get to work now?
I purchased a new car. It's not exactly. It's not exactly new though.
Ugh. You must see something that I don't. All right. $1,524.60. What's next?
The rent.
Forget rent. He didn't pay you back the $1,524.60. Then you let him move in with the idea that he was going to pay you rent. You let him stay there 3 months. He didn't pay a penny. I read your claim.
Right, I was pregnant, and for the last month of my pregnancy, he moved in, said he was going to start making payments. He had a job when he moved in. Payments never came through, and I wanted him to be there for my family.
Then deal with it. Deal with the rent. If you act stupid once and lay out $1,500 for him when you're working, supporting yourself and supporting your unborn child, and then you let him move in, and if he doesn't pay you the first month, you kick him out. And if you let him stay the second and third month because you thought maybe it would work out with him, which I don't know why. What do you do?
I understand that.
What do you do for a living?
I'm an account executive. I'm in sales. The only reason I let him move back in, I was 6 months pregnant, or 9 months pregnant, actually. That's my last month. And I wanted to be there for the child. It's not the child's fault. So I let him move in so he could have his father, and unfortunately, he didn't pay me back, and that's why I'm here today. I believe no one
I've got the $1,520. Nobody lives free except you let him. What's next?
Next is when he agreed to pay me back. He had a $5,000 check for the sale of the car that I had did the repairs. And
okay, stop there. He sold the car, and the car that he just described to me that he sold and paid off the liens was the car that we're talking about?
Yes.
Okay, now tell me the story.
He came to me with a $5,000 cashier's check. We talked about it and discussed it. He did not have a checking account to cash the check because he's on different bad things with his bank account, so he didn't have an account to do that in. So I agreed because I verified with my bank that it was a legitimate check. He signed it over to me. I put it in my account. I took funds out that was agreed upon ahead of time.
Which funds?
Funds from my bank account. I have receipts here totaling $1,200.
No, I understand you took out funds, $1,200, from the $5,000.
Correct.
What did you do with the $1,200?
I gave it to Mr. Rhodes.
For what?
To buy another vehicle and pay off his back taxes.
All I want to know is, you gave him the $1,200.
Correct.
When did you give him the $1,200?
On August the 10th. I have the receipts here to show that it was taken out of my bank account on August the 10th.
And, according to what I read, the purchaser reneged on the deal and canceled the check.
Right.
How could they cancel a cashier's check?
I didn't know that was possible either.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Why an intelligent, lovely-looking woman like you would choose somebody like him to father a child. You know, if you're picking DNA, at least pick DNA that's reasonable. You know, you'd be better off at a sperm bank.
And later today.
How old are you?
27.
Oh, what? You don't have children, do you?
No.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Paula Kahneman claims ex-boyfriend Andrew Rhodes owes for rent, a loan to get his car fixed, and money owed on a botched car sale.
Okay, Mr. Rhodes, what happened?
Okay, put the car on eBay.
Don't go back to the year of the flood, sir.
No.
What happened with the $1,200?
The $1,200 was going to be my money, and she offered to go ahead and pull it out because I found a car that I wanted to buy, and it was an $800 car. She offered to go ahead and put it out there so I could purchase the car, have transportation to get to and from work.
So what happened?
For some reason, the eBay check got canceled for some odd reason. I have no idea why.
I understand that, but she got stuck with $1,200. Why didn't you give her back the $1,200 when you sold the car?
The car was already sold.
What do you mean the car was already sold?
The car was sold.
Am I not following you, sir? You sold the car. Let's say you sold the car on August 1st. She cashed the check for you by putting the money in her bank and giving you $1,200 to buy a new car, figuring that the rest of the money would be hers for whatever expenses and money that you allegedly owed her. She gave you $1,200.
Never once asked for it, though.
Just listen to me. She gave you the $1,200. Then the check bounced. On September 1st, you sold the car to somebody else.
Sold to the same buyer.
And he gave you another check.
No, they sent that directly to the bank that had the lien.
For how much was the lien?
$3,800.
Well, if it was $3,800, you had enough money to pay her back the $1,200.
I also had to purchase this car at the same
Who cares?
I never once asked for it. She offered it out. I took it.
Mr. Rhodes, listen to me. Why an intelligent, lovely-looking woman like you would choose somebody like him to father a child?
Looks can be deceiving.
I have absolutely no idea. I know looks could be deceiving. You know, if you're picking DNA, at least pick DNA that's reasonable. You know, you want a baby, that's a nice thing. You know, you'd be better off at a sperm bank. You owe her $2,724. That's all. Step out.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She's a little bit off a rocker a tad bit, and we just didn't get along.
He's the father of my child, and it's too bad that he's a tax evader and a deadbeat dad and won't take care of his son.
Gonna do the best we can to raise this kid together.
Hopefully he'll become a father and quit being a deadbeat dad.
Won't let me see him, you know, when I want to see him.
He says that because he's not paying child support, and it's the only thing he has against me, and he tries to use that, but it's a complete lie.
She held him away from me for 2 months, and that's the bottom line.
He knows that he could have picked him up at any point in time.
She's been down this road before. I don't think I'm the first one. I don't think I'll be the last.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Champagne versus Walbert. Step forward.
24-year-old Nicole Champagne is suing her ex-boyfriend, 27-year-old David Walbert, for loans to pay rent and to register his car. Nicole also says David owes for his share of a trip to Maryland.
Miss Champagne, the defendant was your boyfriend.
Yes, for a little while.
Well, long enough for you to have, according to you, loaned him
Quite
a
a
whole
bit
bunch of money.
Mm-hmm.
And according to you, he also owes you for trip expenses that you took with him.
Mm-hmm.
Says he owes you nothing. There was never an agreement to pay you back any money. That it only became an issue after the two of you broke up. And that as far as this trip is concerned, he paid for the plane ticket and any extra expenses you incurred with things that you wanted to do. So, how short a period of time was he your boyfriend?
About 9 months.
From when to when?
January 7th till sometime last month.
And when was this first alleged loan?
The first loan began in about July, early July, for his rent that he was unable to pay again.
Well, tell me about the discussion that you had with him.
Well, he had been fired from a job, so he was very short on cash, and he asked me to loan him about $450, and I agreed foolishly.
Where were you living at the time?
With my mom, at home.
And how often did you spend at Mr. Walbert's apartment?
I was there quite often.
How often?
Every night.
Mm-hmm. So he said to you, listen, the rent's due, I don't have a job, would you pay for the rent this month?
No, it was specifically a loan.
Tell me what he said to you.
He said, will you lend me the money that I need?
Is that right, Mr. Walbert?
No.
Let me hear.
I asked her if she could help me with the rent that month.
And what'd she say?
Of course.
How long had she been living with you?
Since January.
Excuse me, does it count as living with him when... I mean, I didn't technically live with him. I wasn't on the lease. I didn't
You don't
owe
have to
rent.
be on the lease.
Okay.
So when she was there in January, you paid the rent?
Mm-hmm.
February?
Yes.
March?
Yes.
April?
Yes.
May?
Yes.
June?
Yes.
Just July. You said, can you help me out with the rent?
Mm-hmm.
Fine.
That's
What was she doing at the
incorrect.
time?
I'm sorry. I want to interrupt because that's
Good.
incorrect.
That's correct. What kind of work were you doing?
I wait tables.
And she?
Wait tables as well.
What else do you want to be when you grow up?
Going to school, I want to be a teacher.
Teach what?
I want to teach music.
Are you a musician?
I wouldn't call myself a musician, but I play a little bit.
What do you play?
Guitar?
And you want to be a music teacher?
Mm-hmm.
Don't music teachers usually have to play an instrument?
Well, it helps.
What's next?
I loaned him quite a bit of money for his car. He was not driving legally. He didn't have registration. He had an unpaid registration ticket, and he didn't have car insurance. So in order to not have to drive him to work myself daily, I loaned him the money to pay for all those things, which amounted to about $1,300.
When?
On July 23rd, I loaned him about $300 to renew his registration. Right before that, I paid his registration ticket July 18th. It's about $700. And also July 23rd, I paid his insurance, which was about $240.
And what did he say to you?
He said that he would pay me back the money and the interest, because I had to put it all on my credit card. I didn't have that kind of money. And he said he would not only pay me back all those things, but also the interest.
What were you doing with all the money you were making as a waitress?
Food, gas. I only work part-time.
You work full-time?
Yes, Your Honor.
What about these expenses for your car?
The car, she told me that she would take care of it because she didn't want to drive me back and forth to work and school. And it was like when I signed up for school, she said that she would take care of the car thing so I could get myself back
when
and
I
forth.
signed you up for school?
No.
Sorry. A little.
Why didn't you take care of it?
I'm not real sure. I mean, I didn't have the money or the time to take care of it.
Were you going to school full-time or part-time?
I'm going full-time now, but I wasn't going to school at that time.
So what were you doing with all your time, sir? What do you mean you didn't have time to take care of it in July?
I didn't have time. I was working all the time.
What were you doing?
Working.
Working where?
Waiting tables.
At which restaurant?
Well, then it was working at Zen Bistro that I got fired from, and then I moved to Riviera.
Are they open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
Brunch, lunch, and dinner.
Right. And then you got fired from there for what?
Having a dirty shirt and talking back.
Well, leave that. And then you went to work at what restaurant?
Riviera.
What is that?
It's an Italian restaurant in the Valley.
So they're not open for breakfast, are they?
No.
Just lunch and dinner?
Lunch and dinner.
Okay, so you had all morning
Yes.
to take care of your business.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so there was no reason why you couldn't pay your own car stuff, right? And when did you terminate this love affair?
About 3.5, 4 weeks ago.
Now, when you went on this trip, where did you go?
Maryland.
When you went to Maryland, you went there for a purpose. What was the purpose?
To visit with his family.
How did you get there?
We flew.
Who paid for the tickets?
We each paid for our own tickets. Actually, I don't think he even had the money to pay for his own. I think his brother may have paid for his.
I don't think you paid for your ticket either.
No, I paid for mine. His brother initially bought it for me, but then I paid him back while we were on the trip.
Why did you go back to Maryland to visit with your parents?
It had been a while since I'd been at home, and I hadn't seen my dad since I moved away, and I was missing my mom. Just wanted to be around family for a little bit.
It was for him, but I sponsored the trip.
How did you sponsor the trip?
Through my credit card. He agreed to pay me back for half of the expenses, but we
No
used,
way.
We used
No
my
way
credit.
he didn't, madam. You want to know why no way? Because so far, you covered his rent for $450. You gave him $1,240 to fix his car. You said that he couldn't even afford to pay his own plane tickets, so he took the money from his brother. That's what you just interrupted. When you interrupted and spoke out, that's what you said, right? So that you could have had no legitimate expectation that he was going to pay you back for diddly.
I had
Because
his
he couldn't
word.
have- you didn't have to go. I believe you when you say, can you help me out with the rent this month? That you said it just that way because you had been paying the rent since January. Then you were out of a job for a while, ran a little short, so she paid for the rent 1 month. And then I assume you paid again in August. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Pardon me?
What?
I had loaned him money for rent previously, and he had paid that back.
He's not paying you back this time, madam.
But it was
you can't
a
live
loan.
with, you can't. Oh, stop it. You can't live rent-free all the time. You know, you're cute. He may think you're cute. Truth of the matter is, you're a cute little girl. I don't think you're adorable. You know, he may think you're adorable. But you got to pay your own way. Got to pay your own way. Be a big girl. But you can't take advantage of her. Can I see the payment on your credit card for the cars? Freeway insurance. Is that for you?
Yes.
How do I know this $311, which you took out as a cash payment, was for his expense?
It was a debit. It wasn't cash. It was my debit card was ran at the DMV.
I got it.
Okay.
Now I see it. And then the court's $705, right?
Right.
$1,240. That's your problem, sir. Those are your tickets, right?
Yes.
What kind of tickets did you get?
It was a registration ticket, and I just hadn't paid it, and it just doubled and doubled, so like quadrupled.
How old are you?
27.
Grow up. You don't have children, do you?
No.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,240. Thank you.